Chapter 951. It was late at night. Qin Feng lay on the sofa in the living room, unable to fall asleep. After an unknown period of time, Yin Wushuang's voice rang in Qin Feng's mind. Qin Feng, the 12 Peaks have replied. What do they say? Qin Feng did not expect the 12 Peaks to reply so quickly. He guessed that the severity of the matter must have frightened the 12 Peaks. The 12 Peaks said not to leak this matter to avoid alerting the William family. The consequences will be unimaginable if the William family is angered. Qin Feng nodded. This was similar to what he had expected. Although Qin Feng did not have a good impression of the 12 Peaks, he had to admit that they were very capable. Yin Wushuang continued. The Dragon Sect is secretly contacting the American government. They're going to report this matter to the American president and ask them to take action. At the same time, the 12 Peaks have ordered you to complete this mission. You must destroy the William family's plan. Yin Wushuang's voice became softer as she spoke. Qin Feng was so angry that he was about to explode. What kind of difficult mission was thrown to him? The 12 Peaks of the Dragon Sect thought too highly of him. Are you kidding me? They want me to destroy the William family's plan alone? Qin Feng was speechless. Don't worry, Qin Feng. I've applied to the 12 Peaks to support you. Hang in there for a few more days. I'll be there soon, Yin Wushuang said anxiously. Qin Feng immediately calmed down. Team leader Yin, I can do it alone. You don't have to come. You don't have to send anyone else from the Dragon Sect. It'll be troublesome if there are too many people. Qin Feng did not want Yin Wushuang to come because this mission was too difficult. It was even more dangerous than the mission of Jindu University and Hong Kong money laundering. Yin Wushuang suddenly stopped talking. Qin Feng knew that she was worried about him, but Yin Wushuang always hid her feelings in her heart. All right, let me know when the American government takes action. I'll be fine. I'll go shopping with you when I get back. Qin Feng cut off the communication with Yin Wushuang to prevent her from worrying about him. In the next few days, Qin Feng waited for the Dragon Sect's news, but there was no news yet. Qin Feng continued to film. He could not act on his own before the American government responded. The William family was too powerful. Qin Feng needed reinforcements to cooperate with him. The filming went very smoothly these few days. After Henry and Tom were violently beaten up by William Hill at the Watson Hotel, they treated Qin Feng as if he was their grandfather. Every scene was done in one take, and Qin Feng did whatever he said. Just like the managers of Qin Feng and the beauties, Henry and Tom would deliver drinks, fan them, and massage them after a scene was shot. This sudden change stunned the staff of Hong Kong's House of Millions Media and Can Film Group. Pa pa pa. As soon as half of the scene was finished, Henry and Tom immediately applauded. They didn't care even if their hands were red. Haha. Amazing, superstar Zheng. Your acting skills are really amazing. You're the best actor I've ever seen, the most handsome man I've ever seen. Quick, sit down. Celebrity Zheng Shuai, you've worked hard. Let me feed you some water. Quick, straighten your legs, I'll help you massage them. Henry and Tom were utterly shameless, and their conscienceless words came out of their mouths. Qin Feng didn't mention anything about the Watson Hotel, so Rao Sherman and the others were very puzzled. Did Henry and Tom take the wrong medicine these days? Hey, how was my acting? Zhang Ku didn't care about the change in Henry and Tom. Every time she finished a scene, she would ask them to praise her. Oh my, there's only one word to describe Superstar Keek's performance just now. Perfect. Out of all the actresses I know, even the superstars in Hollywood, none of them are half as good as Big Star Kiki. It's all because Big Star Kiki went on to sing. If you had started acting earlier, you would definitely have won a grand slam in the international film and television industry. Henry and Tom's flattery skills were so good that Rao Sherman and the others rolled their eyes. Zhang Kuku, on the other hand, was very happy. She clapped her hands and said, "Not bad, not bad. You two have good taste. But I didn't act well in the scene just now. I only put half of my effort into acting. Otherwise, it would have been better." Of course. If superstar Ku devoted herself to acting, then the other actresses' scenes would be unwatchable. Superstar Ku is born kind and cute. She's doing this for the sake of other actresses Qin Feng couldn't bear listening to them anymore. He kicked Henry and Tom to the ground. Both of them rolled on the ground a few times before they rolled back. Their faces were devoid of anger. They smiled and said, "Hee hee, let's not talk about it anymore." Overall, superstar Zheng Shuai's acting skills are better. Qin Feng pursed his lips. He was completely speechless toward the two of them. Today was the last scene of Hedonist Sovereign. Once this part was finished, the entire Hedonist Sovereign would be finished. Today's scene was Qin Feng's favorite scene in the entire movie. The bed scene that he had been looking forward to was finally here. According to the script, Qin Feng had to marry a dozen female leads and a dozen female leads. Then, they would spend their wedding night together. Just thinking about it made Qin Feng excited. All right, let's hurry up and finish the last scene. Qin Feng rested for a while and got up to change. He couldn't wait any longer. The women also went to the dressing room. They had to wear red qipao dresses and dress like brides. Qin Feng, on the other hand, was dressed in a white suit. The stylist even gave him a handsome wig. Coupled with his scarred face, it was simply unbearable to look at him directly. Wow, handsome. He's so handsome. Oh my God. Is this the legendary Prince Charming? I really want to become a woman so that I can marry big brother Zheng Shuai. Just as Qin Feng walked out of the dressing room, Henry and Tom started to flatter him again. Qin Feng kicked them away and strode toward the row of women in red qipao dresses. Action! The director hit the clappers, and the scene officially began. Surrounded by the women, Qin Feng slowly walked into the bridal room. A group of extras acted as the nuptial guests. After a while, only Qin Feng and a large group of beauties were left in the room. Xian, Xiaowan, there's so many brides today. Which one of us will sleep with Qin Feng first? Rao Sherman looked at Ma Xin and Ao Xiaowan shyly. Before the two women could say anything, Zhang Cuckoo added another scene. I'll do it. Tonight, I'll sleep with hero Qin Feng first. The women rolled their eyes and remained silent. They were worried about how to shoot the bed scene, and it was good that Zhang Cuckoo was willing to give them a demonstration. Qin Feng was against it. He wanted to use this opportunity to make it real with Ying, Sherman, and Xian. However, Zhang Cuckoo was in high spirits, and Qin Feng didn't want to spoil her mood. The male director was chased out of the room by Qin Feng, and a few female directors carried the cameras and started shooting. The brides were sitting in a row on the bed beside them. They were all beautiful and had their own style. They were all dressed in red qipao dresses and red lipstick, and it was enough to excite anyone who saw them. Qin Feng and Zhang Cuckoo sat on the main bed. Before Qin Feng could get ready, Zhang Cuckoo pushed Qin Feng to the bed. Cuckoo, are you crazy? Don't let them find out. Qin Feng rolled his eyes at Zhang Cuckoo, but Zhang Cuckoo didn't mind. She unbuckled Qin Feng's belt and said, "Don't be afraid. We're shooting a movie, and we must have the spirit of sacrificing ourselves for the art. Also, I haven't served Big Brother Qin Feng for a few days, and you must be very sad. Let's make it real today, and Sherman and the others won't find out." Zhang Cuckoo's audacity shocked Qin Feng. He was stunned for a moment, and then he realized that both of them had really fused together. Zhang Cuckoo didn't take off her clothes. She only lifted the bottom of her qipao and covered her body with Qin Feng's suit jacket, so no one could see anything from the outside. However, both of them were doing it for real. Qin Feng glanced at Rao Sherman and the other women from time to time. The feeling was too exciting, and Qin Feng thought that Zhang Cuckoo really knew how to have fun. Soon, Zhang Cuckoo lost herself. Her body was hot and sweaty, and she screamed unscrupulously. Her voice was so real that it made Rao Sherman and the other women blush. Cut! Henry and Tom ran into the room and shouted, "Cut!" They didn't dare to go too close to Qin Feng, so they stood at the door and didn't look around. They were worried that Qin Feng would be too tired from acting, so they came in at the right time. The scene was shot perfectly, and the superstar Zheng Shuai's acting skills have reached the acme of perfection. Awesome. This scene was shot in one take. Everyone, let's congratulate the completion of Hedonist Sovereign. Henry and Tom were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. They were waiting for Qin Feng to praise them, but before they could laugh, two leather shoes flew at them and hit their faces, sending them flying out of the room. Then, Qin Feng's cold and furious voice sounded, "Get out of here. You're not allowed to stop the scene until 2 hours have passed." Henry and Tom were so frightened that they hastily shut the door and guarded it, not allowing anyone to enter the room. The room was filled with Zhang Kuku's screams. Rao Sherman and the other women were drenched in sweat. They felt weird, and they had the urge to rush forward and serve Qin Feng together with Zhang Kuku. After a long time, Zhang Kuku's voice became hoarse. She finally stopped. Both of them secretly put on their clothes, and Zhang Kuku jumped off the bed as if nothing had happened. "Ahem, shall we let Sherman be the next one?" Qin Feng said to Rao Sherman. Rao Sherman shyly ran to the door. Why don't you take a rest first? Don't tire yourself out." Chapter 952. Qin Feng didn't want to force them to act, so the scene was suspended for a while. Qin Feng sat on the bed alone, while the other women and the 3 female directors ran out of the room. The female director was dumbfounded by Zhang Kuku's performance. After so many days of filming, this was the first time she witnessed Zhang Kuku's outstanding acting skills. Her acting was so real. "Kuku, come with me." Rao Sherman dragged Zhang Kuku to a secluded place after she left the room. "What's wrong, Sherman?" Zhang Kuku looked at Rao Sherman innocently, but her heart was racing. Rao Sherman looked at Zhang Kuku from head to toe. Zhang Kuku's face was still flushed. Rao Sherman raised her brows and asked, "Did you really act with Qin Feng?" Zhang Kuku was so shocked that she almost jumped up. What? What do you mean by making it real? We didn't do anything." Rao Sherman became even more suspicious when she saw Zhang Kuku's nervous expression. Everyone knew how bad Zhang Kuku's acting was, but Zhang Kuku's acting was better than anyone else. Rao Sherman's suspicion was justified. "Why are you stuttering? Don't tell me you really let Qin Feng in?" Rao Sherman rarely said such bold words. As soon as the words left her mouth, she blushed. Zhang Kuku's face turned pale. She was scared to death. "No, I didn't. It's not an act. Why would I let him in?" Zhang Kuku pretended to be calm. Rao Sherman stared into Zhang Kuku's eyes, but Zhang Kuku avoided her gaze. "You really didn't?" "I really didn't." "Sherman, please don't ask me these questions. I'm still a virgin. If you don't believe me, I'll take it off for you." Zhang Kuku was about to lift her skirt when Rao Sherman covered her forehead and stopped her. "Someone's watching. You better watch yourself." Zhang Kuku felt wronged and stopped what she was doing. She pouted and said, "Since you don't believe me, I can only prove it to you. It's bad for my reputation if I tell others about it." "Sherman, you can't talk nonsense anymore." Rao Sherman began to believe Zhang Kuku's words. After Rao Sherman calmed down, she thought about it carefully. Isn't it normal for girls to see red on their first time? Zhang Kuku didn't see red either. Obviously, she didn't do it with Qin Feng. Rao Sherman felt relieved. "Looks like I've wronged you. Don't take it to heart. Let's go back." Rao Sherman held Zhang Kuku's arm and walked back. Zhang Kuku still had a lingering fear in her heart. She suddenly asked, "Sherman, what if I accidentally do it with Big Brother Qin Feng one day? Will you ignore me?" Rao Sherman was stunned. She looked at Zhang Kuku and asked, "Why are you doing that with him? If I like him, wouldn't that be natural? Then I can't control you anymore. Think about it carefully. A woman must be faithful. Once you've slept with someone, you must be with him forever." Rao Sherman's reaction was not strong. It was as if she was teaching Zhang Kuku. Then, you won't be mad that I'm one step ahead of Sherman, right?" Zhang Kuku asked cautiously. Why would I be mad? I haven't decided to be with Qin Feng for the rest of my life. If you really like him, you could go ahead with your relationship." Rao Sherman blushed. She said she hadn't decided yet, but Zhang Kuku could tell that Rao Sherman had fallen in love with Qin Feng for a long time. After talking with Rao Sherman, Zhang Kuku's worries disappeared. She had been on tenterhooks with Qin Feng in the washroom. But now, it seemed like Sherman didn't care about it all. While the girls were chatting outside, the staff, and the onlookers were sneaking glances at the beauties. Qin Feng sat alone in the room, impatiently waiting for the beauties to come back and continue filming. However, before the beauties arrived, he felt a sharp pain in his brain. "Little pig, what's wrong?" Qin Feng immediately became serious. He felt as if his heart was being torn apart. A strong sense of danger surged in his heart. "Master, bad news. The lover's lock has been torn." Little pig said anxiously. Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. "The lover's lock has been torn? Doesn't that mean Li Ye is in danger?" When Qin Feng saved Li Ye from prison, he placed the lover's lock at Li Ye's place. He even told Li Ye not to break the lover's lock unless it was absolutely necessary. From the looks of it, Li Ye had met with a very troublesome problem. It seems like the people from the verdant sect have made their move. Qin Feng quickly calmed down. He was currently in America, and it would take him at least half a day to book a plane ticket back to China. He didn't know what would happen to Li Ye by then. "Master, you can ride the flaming golden eagle back," Little Pig reminded Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't dare to waste any more time. He got up and ran out of the room. Where are you going, Zheng Shuai?" Zhang Kuku screamed in fear. "Ioyo, superstar Zheng Shuai, please don't be angry. Let's continue filming. Quick, quick, quick. Go back to the room and lie down on the bed. Superstar Zheng Shuai will come and play with you in bed." Henry and Tom were so shocked that they almost fell to the ground. Rao Sherman and the girls also saw Qin Feng running out of the room in a hurry. Before they could ask, Qin Feng had already disappeared. His voice came from afar. "I have something urgent to attend to. Continue filming." Qin Feng was like the wind. In the blink of an eye, he had completely disappeared. Everyone was still in a daze. He ran away without even filming the bed scene. It seemed like he really had something urgent to attend to. At the same time, in China's Zhongchuan city, Li Ye had just torn the lover's lock on her neck. It was early in the morning in America, but it was already evening in China. "Who are you?" Li Ye stared ahead vigilantly. In front of Li Ye stood a man in a black robe. The man's body was covered in darkness. It was as if the sunlight would be swallowed when it fell on him. "I'm here to kill you." Li Xiaojie's voice was ice cold. Li had long discovered that Li Xiaojie was secretly following her. She purposely walked to this deserted suburb and found that Li Xiaojie was still following her. As a high-ranking inspector, Li pulled out her gun and was about to control Li Xiaojie. In the end, Li Xiaojie did not listen to her orders and even tried to grab Li. Helpless, Li fired her gun, but in the end, she ran out of bullets and was actually unable to injure Li Xiaojie. Seeing that she was about to be caught by Li Xiaojie, Li used her final trump card and immediately broke the lover's lock on her neck. When the lover's lock was broken, Li discovered the changes in her body. Li suddenly felt that she was filled with energy like a lion that had just woken up. It was as if a single roar could scare a pack of jackals, wolves, tigers, and leopards. Li Xiaojie's cold gaze changed. His eyes stared at Li Ye's body and shot out a strange light. "The aura on your body is changing? What did you just rip off?" Qin Feng had only left the lover's lock with Li Ye and told her to break it if she was in danger. However, Qin Feng did not tell her the use of the lover's lock, and even Li Ye herself did not know what was going on. "This is a gift from my boyfriend. What do you care? I advise you to quickly surrender and follow me back to the police station for interrogation. Otherwise, you will be considered resisting arrest, and I can put you on the wanted list for the entire journey." Li Ye's only life-saving pistol had run out of bullets. She was still very afraid in her heart, and could only pretend to be calm to scare Li Xiaojie. Wanted throughout the city? What would you think if I told you that I've long been wanted around the world?" Li Xiaojie sneered. As a disciple of the verdant sect, why would he be afraid of being wanted? Why would they be afraid of the police? Li Xiaojie hated the police. Li realized that it was very likely that Li Xiaojie was someone from the verdant sect who had come to take revenge. Back then, Qin Feng had warned Li to pay attention to the verdant sect, and Li Xiaojie's body was emitting waves of evil qi, which was very similar to the characteristics of the evil cultivators in the verdant sect. Facing the verdant sect, Li was not stupid enough to fight head-on. She knew that she was not a match for the verdant sect evil cultivator. "Help! Is there anyone? Save me!" Leah immediately ran, shouting and shouting, wanting to call for help. Li Xiaojie stood on the spot and sneered. He was not worried when he saw Leah running dozens of meters away. Suddenly, his body flashed and disappeared into thin air. In a few breaths' time, Li Xiaojie appeared behind Leah again. "Beauty, where are you running to?" Li Xiaojie's evil laugh reached Leah's ears. The evil qi became even stronger, and it felt like it was going to blow on Leah's face. Leah was so scared that she turned around and kicked him. This was completely an instinctive reaction. Boom! Leah kicked out, and the air was split by Leah's kick, and a muffled, thunderous sound rang out. A violent airflow surged out, and Li Xiaojie, who was reaching out to grab Leah, had a huge change in expression. He quickly retracted his hand and retreated. Bang, bang, bang. The wind from the kick finally swept the ground, and a crack appeared on the ground, giving Leah a fright. The lover's lock was an item awarded to Qin Feng by the system. For half an hour, the user would possess 80% of Qin Feng's current strength. Qin Feng was currently at the early stage of Stage 9 Inner Qi, and Leah was at Stage 8 Inner Qi. Her strength could be considered invincible among those below Stage 9 Inner Qi. But Leah did not know about this. She was stunned by the scene in front of her. Did I kick the ground? Will the people from the city planning bureau make me pay for it? Leah was stunned, and Li Xiaojie was even more shocked. Li Xiaojie had checked Leah's body just now, and there was no fluctuation of inner qi. Moreover, according to Li Xiaojie's recent investigation, Leah was only an ordinary police officer and not a Chinese martial artist. But Leah's kick had the strength of a Stage 9 inner qi, and it really scared Li Xiaojie. Are you pretending to be an ordinary person? Are you trying to lure me out? Li Xiaojie's mind was full of thoughts, and hundreds of thoughts flashed through his mind in a second. Chapter 9:53. You better not follow the big sister anymore, or else big sister won't be polite. Leah was somewhat disappointed that Qin Feng didn't come. She started to worry again, so she turned around and started to run away. Li Xiaojie was dumbfounded. He didn't know why this woman was running away. Could it be that she was playing hard to get? Or was there an even more dangerous trap waiting for him in front of her? Li Xiaojie was currently a level 6 evil cultivator, and his strength was comparable to a level 8 inner martial artist. From Leah's kick just now, Li Xiaojie could tell Leah's strength. No matter what, she was still a level 8 inner martial artist. Li Xiaojie didn't even have the confidence to defeat Leah, but why did this woman run? Leah's speed was so fast that she was about to fly, giving Leah another fright. Li Xiaojie was absent-minded for a moment and realized that Leah had almost disappeared. Was this woman really running for her life? There must be something wrong with her. Boom! Li Xiaojie didn't care anymore. He leaped into the air and struck out with his palm towards Leah's back. A thick black mist flew out, forming a huge palm pattern in the air. The speed of the black mist was even faster than Li Xiaojie's, and it shot towards Leah like a bullet. Bastard, you forced me to do this. Leah realized that she had really changed. Her reaction speed, strength, and other aspects had all greatly improved. Leah didn't need to turn her head to feel the aura of death coming from behind her. When the aura was about to envelop her, Leah turned around and struck out with her palm. Boom! Leah's inner qi and Li Xiaojie's corpse aura collided in the air, causing a series of violent explosions. Leah felt the ground beneath her feet shake slightly. This huge movement and the destructive power caused Leah to scream in fright. The scream was so loud that Li Xiaojie's eardrums were about to burst. Li Xiaojie hurriedly retreated all the way, and only then did he manage to narrowly avoid the aftermath of the explosion. Looking at Leah, who was screaming nonstop in fright, Li Xiaojie was truly dumbfounded. You're the one who caused this commotion. What the hell are you shouting for? After shouting for a while, Leah suddenly stopped. Her pair of beautiful eyes that were filled with panic suddenly flashed with the light of surprise. Leah realized that she seemed to have suddenly turned into a superwoman. She felt that there was a little beast hiding in her body, as if she had an inexhaustible amount of strength and power. Leah looked at the lover's lock that had been torn off her neck and suddenly thought of Qin Feng's words. If there's an emergency, immediately break this chain. Leah seemed to understand that this lover lock was obviously not a simple item. It was very likely that it was a very precious and rare spirit artifact, and a series of changes that had happened to his body was obviously related to the broken chain. Monster, how dare you follow me? Today, I will do justice on behalf of the heavens. After understanding the reason, Leah was not afraid at all. She believed that Qin Feng must have left her a very powerful treasure, and Leah was going to personally capture the people from the verdant sect. With a tap of her feet, Leah flew out as light as a swallow. Her speed and the height of her jump caused Leah to cry out in surprise. Even though she was mentally prepared, she still felt that it was inconceivable. Li Xiaojie looked at Leah in a daze. He was almost turned into a lunatic by this woman. This woman was indeed sick. She was clearly a very powerful expert, yet she still wanted to pretend to be a rookie. Did she take Lousy for a retard? Do you really think Lousy can't see through your little tricks? Boom! Li Xiaojie struck out with his palms again, then turned around and ran. Two large black handprints appeared in the air, directly blocking Leah's path. However, Leah was not afraid at all, and her pretty face even revealed an excited expression. She had long dreamed of becoming a powerful martial artist one day, and now that her dream had come true, Leah felt that it was extremely fun. Bang! Bang! Leah's speed did not decrease, and she continued to strike out with her palms in midair. Her movements were completely different from Qin Feng's. Qin Feng's movements were concise, and every move he made was a killing move. Leah, on the other hand, was like a beautiful girl warrior. Before she waved her palm, she even made a few fancy movements and even recited some lines from cartoons. Although his movements looked a little flowery, the hidden inner qi was surging violently. This was 80% of Qin Feng's strength. How could an ordinary person withstand it? Bang! 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 Li Xiaojie ran for his life, while Leah was like a dragonfly skimming the water. She floated in the air for a while, then landed on the ground and jumped up again. Leah's jade-like hands continued to wave, and a series of loud sounds came from the ground. It felt like a special effect from a mythical movie, and behind Li Xiaojie, there were constantly rocks flying and the ground cracking, causing Leah to shout excitedly. Li Xiaojie was beaten to a sorry state. Some of the rocks bounced onto his body, piercing several small holes in his black robe. Li Xiaojie was completely infuriated. He had never been chased and beaten by a woman like this before. This was simply an insult to him. TSK, TSK, TSK. Li Xiaojie suddenly let out a strange cry. It sounded like he was laughing, but it also felt like he was crying. Li was so scared that she stopped. The sound of crying and laughing made Li Ya's hair stand on end, and goosebumps appeared all over her body. You monster! Hurry up and surrender. Leah glared at Li Xiaojie with a cold expression. Bitch, I'll make you die a horrible death. Li Xiaojie suddenly moved. His speed was so fast that it made Li Ya's eyes blur. After a round of fighting, Li Xiaojie had already discovered some clues. He felt that Leah was really a novice at fighting. With a body full of inner qi, he could not even release a single killing move. The attacks that Leah had launched in front of him were all playful moves. Bang, 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 bang. Leah panicked and started to randomly slap her surroundings. Leah was already unable to determine Li Xiaojie's current location. Seeing that the corpse aura was gradually surrounding him, Leah immediately became flustered and started to fight randomly without any order or order. TSK, TSK, TSK. You really are a newbie. I really don't know how you broke through to your current realm. Fall for me. Li Xiaojie's voice suddenly spread out, and the entire black mist was filled with his creepy, evil laughter. Leah was so scared that she broke out in cold sweat. She turned around and kicked again, but other than the sound of wind breaking, there was no sign of her kicking Li Xiaojie. Boom! A ball of black mist suddenly flew over and crashed into Leah's back. Leah was not prepared at all and fell to the ground and rolled around. "Bastard, you dare hit big sister. You're simply too despicable." Not only did Leah possess a strong amount of inner chi, her body's defense had also reached 80% of Qin Feng's strength. This palm had injured Leah, but it was not a serious injury. Leah jumped up and kicked the black mist a few more times. Bang, bang, bang. It was still the sound of wind breaking, and he did not kick Li Xiao Jie at all. The surrounding black mist was too dense, and the corpse aura had the effect of interfering with one's mind. Leah's judgment was rapidly declining. TSK, TSK, TSK. Bitch, let's see how long you can last. So what if you're at the inner 9 level? I'll torture you the same. Li Xiao Jie's laughter echoed in the surroundings, purposely disrupting Leah's judgment. Leah felt the corpse aura enter her body, and the dizziness became even more intense. Monster, consider yourself lucky today. Don't let big sister bump into you again. Leah was not stupid. She knew that if she continued to waste time, she would definitely be finished. With a leap, Leah ran out of the black mist. Leah's speed was extremely fast, and her ears were filled with the whistling of the wind. However, Li Xiao Jie did not let Leah go. The balls of black mist seemed to have grown eyes and followed closely behind Leah. Halfway through, Leah's phone rang, and she quickly picked it up. "Xiaoye, where are you? Why did you break the lover lock?" The call was from Qin Feng. Leah was already running wildly, and the sound of the wind was whistling in her ears. However, the sound of the wind coming from the phone was even louder, and Leah suspected that Qin Feng was riding on the plane for a ride. Qin Feng did not step on the plane. He was currently stepping on the flaming golden eagle and rushing towards Zhongchuan City. "Woo-woo, darling. I met someone from the Verdant sect. That guy can release corpse aura. I feel like I can't hold on any longer. Darling, quickly come and save me." As Leah ran, she pouted and acted coquettishly. Qin Feng immediately shouted, "Don't fight with him. Run quickly. Your strength can only last for half an hour." When Qin Feng finished speaking, Leah was immediately dumbfounded. His strength could only be maintained for half an hour? It seemed to have been almost half an hour since he broke the lover lock. "Io!" Leah, who was running, suddenly cried out in alarm. She realized that the little beast hidden in her body had disappeared, and her strength was also gone. Leah's speed was extremely fast just now, but now that she had tripped and fallen, she could not even stand up. Li Xiao Jie had already caught up to Leah, but he did not immediately come up to capture her. "It's over, time's up," Leah shouted in despair in her heart. What made her even more desperate was that this fall had sent her phone flying, and she couldn't even find it now. Li Xiao Jie observed his surroundings for a while, and realized that the inner chi on Leah's body had suddenly disappeared. How could such a strong and rich inner chi disappear just like that? Li Xiao Jie was so depressed that he wanted to die. Even he, an evil cultivator, could not understand Leah's situation. This woman was even more ferocious than the evil cultivator. It was too strange. "What are you standing there for? Come and catch me." Leah seemed to have seen through Li Xiao Jie's thoughts. She knew that she wouldn't be able to escape, so she pretended to be calm and scared Li Xiao Jie. "Humph, do you think I'm stupid? You must have dug a trap for me. Don't worry, I won't capture you myself. I'll first use the corpse aura to knock you out, then it won't be too late to capture you." Li Xiao Jie hesitated for a moment, but still did not dare to go up and capture him. He was afraid that the moment he got close to Leah, that woman would suddenly launch another sneak attack. Rumble! A ball of black mist pounced over, and in a short while, it surrounded Leah. Leah immediately got up and started running again. She wanted to stall for as much time as possible. She knew that Qin Feng had already come to save her. Chapter 954. It was still daytime in America. Qin Feng riding on the flaming golden eagle was very eye-catching. So he bought an invisibility cloak from the system and put it on himself and the golden eagle. The effect of the invisibility cloak was the same as the invisible fighter. The wind whistled past his ears as the flaming golden eagle reached its maximum speed. It was as if every few minutes, the ground beneath his feet would change, and the sky would gradually turn dark. Xiaoya, why aren't you saying anything? Qin Feng had not hung up yet, and neither had Li Ye. However, there was no sound from the other side. Qin Feng shouted a few times, but there was no reply from Li Ye. A bad premonition surged in his heart, and Qin Feng's face was so cold that it was about to freeze. Little pig, can you locate Li Ye? Qin Feng asked. Master, Li Ye has a lover lock produced by the system. The system can locate the location of the lover lock for free. Very good. Hurry up and locate it. Flaming Golden Eagle, advance at full speed. In an abandoned factory on the outskirts of Zhongchuan City, Li Ye slowly opened her eyes. Just as she woke up, Li Ye thought of being captured and immediately started to struggle. Bastard, you dare to capture Big Sister? Hurry up and let me go. Big Sister's boyfriend is already here. Just you wait to die. Li Ye quickly discovered her situation. Her hands and feet were tied up, and she was surrounded by an abandoned and dark factory. The strange black-robed man was standing right in front of her, and Li Ye struggled with all her might, but she could not break free from the bindings. TSK, TSK, TSK. Your boyfriend? The brat who captured a few hundred people from the Lone Dragon Gang and destroyed the Lone Dragon Gang with you? Very good, very good. I was just waiting to settle the score with him, and he came to die himself, saving me the trouble. Li Xiao Jie laughed strangely, especially in the dark abandoned factory. His laughter was even more terrifying, scaring Li so much that her delicate body trembled. Li Xiao Jie suddenly stopped laughing, his eyes staring straight at Li Ye's full chest, flashing with an evil light. Hey, you, what are you looking at? Do you believe that Big Sister will dig out your eyeballs and step on them? Let me tell you, Big Sister's boyfriend is very powerful. He can slap you to death with one hand. Li Ye noticed Li Xiao Jie's vulgar gaze, causing her to shrink back in fright. Her entire body had shrunk to the corner, and there was no way out. Is your boyfriend really that powerful? Then why isn't he here yet? Since he's so slow, we should find some fun to play with during this period of time. You're a pretty girl. I'll let you enjoy yourself to the heavens first. When your boyfriend comes later and sees us making love, won't he be very happy? Li Xiao Jie was one of the 4 young masters of Acropolis City. He used to be a playboy and loved to play with women. However, after he was killed by Qin Feng at the Amethyst Dragon Palace and was saved by the Verdant Sect, Li Xiao Jie had been busy cultivating and had no time to play with women. Now that there was a Hong Kong most beautiful miss in front of him for 3 consecutive years, Li Xiao Jie was immediately interested. Ah, you monster scram. If you dare touch me, Big Sister will perish together with you. Looking at Li Xiao Jie, who was walking over step by step, Li Ye struggled with all her might. Li Xiao Jie was already standing in front of Li Ye, his gaze moving from Li Ye's 3-dimensional and exquisite face all the way to her neck, chest, lower abdomen, long legs, and finally to her shoes. The fire in Li Xiao Jie's stomach burned fiercely. He hadn't touched a woman for more than half a year. That strong desire made Li Xiao Jie's eyes turn red, as if his entire body was about to ignite. Beauty, don't worry. Big Brother was also a rich young master in the past. Big Brother knows all kinds of tricks. Big Brother is an old driver with wind essence oil. I will definitely let you fly. After Li Xiao Jie finished looking at Li Ye, he started to take off his clothes. When he took off his shirt, Li Ye was so scared that she forgot to struggle. Li Xiao Jie's skin was black and wrinkled, like a layer of dry and cracked black skin. As Li Xiao Jie took off his clothes, the black skin on his upper body fell to the ground like snow, but what fell was black snow. Li Ye had forgotten that she was going to be violated. Was this man still human? Was this the evil cultivator of the Verdant Sect? If he didn't want to be a good person, did he have to make himself into a monster? Li Xiaojie's body had an evil aura. Now that he had taken off his shirt, a strong corpse aura floated out, causing Li Ye to almost vomit. However, Li Xiaojie did not care about Li Ye's reaction. After taking off his shirt, he reached into his pants and started fumbling around. After a while, Li Xiaojie's excited expression dimmed down, and his eyes spewed out flames of anger. Fuck! Qin Feng, Lousy will kill you. It's all your fault. It's all your fault that Lousy is like this. I want to skin you alive. I want to turn you into a walking corpse. Li Xiao Jie originally wanted to violate Li Ye, but in the end, he suddenly touched his crotch and started cursing. Li Ye was truly dumbfounded, and when she heard that Li Xiao Jie actually knew Qin Feng, she was even more dumbfounded. Seeing Li Xiao Jie roaring and shouting crazily at the side, Li Ye did not dare to say a word. She was deeply afraid that Li Xiao Jie would suddenly think of her and pounce on her to violate her. If that was the case, Li Ye might as well bite her tongue and commit suicide. Get up. Hurry up and fucking get up. Li Xiao Jie tore off his pants and stood naked at the side, fiddling with his body. Li Ye took a glance and immediately closed her eyes in fright. She was about to die from fright. Was this man sick? Li Xiao Jie was really sick. Ever since he had been replaced by Qin Feng with a pig's heart and dog's kidney, his body had been failing. Every time he saw a beautiful woman, he would have an impulsive reaction, but little Li Xiao Jie did not have any reaction. Li Xiao Jie did not have the mood to violate Li Ye right now. Even if he pounced on Li Ye and stripped her naked, he would not be able to stand up at the most crucial moment. Wouldn't Li Ye laugh at him to death? Get up. If you don't get up, I'll cut you up. Li Xiao Jie stood at the side and fiddled with it, his mouth still muttering about getting up. Li Ye had had enough. She did not want to stay with this lunatic Li Xiao Jie for even a second, but Li Ye could not run away, so she could only close her eyes and not look around. Woof woof. After an unknown amount of time, Li Xiao Jie still did not get up. Just as Li Xiao Jie was about to give up on violating Li Ye, a wild dog suddenly ran in. This abandoned factory was probably the territory of the big wolf dog, and when the wild dog saw someone running in, it barked at Li Xiao Jie. Li Xiao Jie suddenly stopped what he was doing and looked at the wild dog standing in front of him naked. Li Xiao Jie's dog kidney was changed, and he did not know if it was because of this, but the moment he saw the wild dog, the sleeping little Li Xiao Jie suddenly stood up, and a raging fire in his stomach completely erupted. Boom! Li Xiao Jie struck out with his palm, and a ball of black mist enveloped the wild dog. The wild dog that was barking at Li Xiao Jie with its porcelain teeth suddenly became docile and laid on the ground without moving. Li Xiao Jie's eyes shone with a green light, and with a big stride, he rushed to the side of the wild dog. He picked up the wild dog and looked at it, and was immediately extremely excited. Woof, woof, woof. Suddenly, the miserable cries of a wild dog came from the abandoned factory. That heart-wrenching sound scared Leah so much that she couldn't help but take a look. Seeing the scene in front of her, Leah almost fainted from fright. The battle between a man and a dog had completely overturned Leah's worldview. Leah wanted to escape, but her feet were tied up. She wanted to cover her ears, but her hands were tied up. The entire factory was filled with the continuous screams of wild dogs, and from time to time, Li Xiao Jie's low growls could be heard. Leah was about to cry. She never thought that there would be such a disgusting person in this world. Not even letting a wild dog go. Just how hungry and thirsty were they? Illo! A cry came from the entrance of the abandoned factory. The sound was like the cry of an ancient bird. The flaming golden eagle spread its wings and landed steadily on the ground. The surrounding rubble and dust flew into the air, and the scene was extremely spectacular. Qin Feng had said not to let the golden eagle scream, but this big stupid bird kept screaming all the way. In the end, Qin Feng could not control it anymore. Just as he jumped down from the golden eagle, Qin Feng recalled it back into the system. Master, according to the system's senses, the lover lock is in this factory. The little pig's voice sounded in Qin Feng's mind. Just as Qin Feng walked to the door, he heard a burst of crazy dog barks coming from inside the room. He didn't know what kind of torture the dog had suffered, but why was it barking more miserably than a pig being slaughtered? Qin Feng's nerves immediately tensed up because he heard another low growl from a man. 2 hours had passed since Leah was captured, and Qin Feng had lost contact with Leah for more than an hour. During this period of time, Li Xiao Jie could have done a lot of things, and what worried Qin Feng the most was Leah's beauty. Hearing the man's low growl, Qin Feng's entire body emitted a strong, killing intent, but the even more excited dog barks made Qin Feng puzzled. What the hell was going on? Xiaoya. Qin Feng didn't have time to think and rushed into the factory. As soon as he entered the room, Qin Feng was shocked by the scene in front of him. It was the first time Qin Feng had seen an intense battle between a man and a dog. Li Xiaojie was also stunned. He looked at Zheng Shuai, who was standing at the door. Wasn't this Li Ye's wild man? Not long ago, Zheng Shuai had ruined Li Xiaojie's plans. Li Xiaojie had always wanted to kill Zheng Shuai. Now that Zheng Shuai was here, Li Xiaojie had no time to care about him. He was still twisting his body, as if he didn't want to stop. Qin Feng, Wu, save me, that man is a pervert. Seeing that Qin Feng had really come, Liu was stunned for a while before she came back to her senses. Then, she shouted excitedly at Qin Feng. Xiaoya, are you all right? Qin Feng discovered Liya and immediately went over to untie her. The ropes on Liya's hands and feet were untied, and she threw herself into Qin Feng's embrace, crying loudly. She was really scared to death by Li Xiaojie's abnormality. Wu, Qin Feng, help me teach that bastard a lesson. This kind of pervert shouldn't live. Chapter 955. After a while, Li Xiaojie finally came back to his senses. He realized that Zheng Shuai didn't look like Qin Feng at all. Who are you? Li Xiaojie's face was ferocious. He didn't care that he was naked. He kicked the wild dog away and glared at Qin Feng. The wild dog slammed into the wall. His head burst open and he died. Li shrieked in fear at this cruel scene. She covered her eyes and didn't dare to watch. Qin Feng pushed Li behind him and looked into Li Xiaojie's cold eyes. He said word by word, Li Xiaojie, we've been enemies for a long time. It's time to put an end to it. Li Xiaojie's vitality shocked Qin Feng. 8 months ago, Qin Feng pierced Li Xiaojie's heart with his spear in the Amethyst Dragon Palace. A few months later, Qin Feng witnessed Li Xiaojie's resurrection at Hepping Town's Feng Yun Fun City. Qin Feng dissected Li Xiaojie twice. Not only did Li Xiaojie not die, but he also became a monster and his strength increased greatly. Later, Li Xiaojie escaped during the Elixir Conference. This time, Qin Feng would not let Li Xiaojie leave alive. Li Xiaojie was stunned for a long time. Suddenly, he came back to his senses. His eyes were bloodshot, and he looked like he wanted to swallow Qin Feng alive. After the battle with the wild dog, Li Xiaojie calmed down. He was disgusted by his actions just now. Li Xiaojie went from being a hedonistic young master to being neither a human nor a ghost. He didn't want this to happen, and Li Xiaojie blamed all of this on Qin Feng. If it wasn't for Qin Feng, Li Xiaojie felt that he wouldn't have become like this. He would still be a hedonistic young master, hugging a group of superstars and trying out all sorts of new and interesting things. Qin Feng? Are you Qin Feng? Why did you change your appearance? Are you really Qin Feng? Li Xiaojie was going crazy. I pierced your heart with my spear in the Amethyst Dragon Palace. I dissected you twice in Feng Yun Fun City. I killed your master, Ghost Face Mountain, and let you escape during the Elixir Conference. Tell me, am I Qin Feng? Leah was dumbfounded when she heard this. She never thought that Qin Feng would really be related to that perverted man, and that it was an irreconcilable hatred. Hee, it's Qin Feng. You're really Qin Feng. You've come just in time. I want you to become like me and have a taste of being neither human nor ghost. Li Xiaojie suddenly let out a strange laugh. Then a majestic corpse qi gushed out from his body. The black mist instantly enveloped Qin Feng and Li Ye. With Qin Feng's stage 9 inner qi, the corpse qi could no longer corrode Qin Feng's body. However, Li was just an ordinary human being. Buzz! A strange energy wave spread out. A long sword shining with a holy white light appeared in Qin Feng's hand. More than half of the black fog that enveloped the surroundings dissipated, and the original darkness was once again illuminated by the angel's sword. Li Xiaojie seemed to be very afraid of the angel's sword and hurriedly retreated dozens of meters away in fright. However, his body was still surging with corpse energy, constantly filling up the dissipated black fog by the angel's sword. Xiaoya, hold the angel's sword and stand here. I'll deal with that pervert. Qin Feng tossed the angel's sword to Leah. The corpse chi around Leah instantly dispersed, and it could no longer approach Leah's body. Leah felt her head was clear again. The dizziness and nausea had also disappeared, and the air around her seemed to have become fresher. She looked at the sword in her hand and was shocked. Qin Feng really has a lot of treasures. Rumble. Qin Feng lunged at Li Xiao Jie with both of his fists. The sound of thunder and tiger's roar came from the factory. The special Thunder Tiger fists were mighty and mighty. When Qin Feng's fist landed, a few large cracks appeared on ground. Shock flashed in Li Xiao Jie's eyes. Qin Feng's strength had increased again. Even a heretic like Li Xiao Jie found it hard to believe that Qin Feng's strength had increased again. Dark Corpse Burning Palm. In a moment of desperation, Li Xiao Jie hurriedly launched 2 palm strikes. This move was taught to Li Xiao Jie by Ghost Face Mountain Man. 2 dense black fireballs shot towards Qin Feng. However, before they could even touch his body, they were shattered by the Thunder Tiger fists. Even a black mist that covered the sky and covered the earth quickly dissipated. Bang! Both fists landed, followed by a crisp sound. The spirit snake whip in Qin Feng's hand flickered with a blue light. Not long ago, Qin Feng had used the 10,000 Treasures Pavilion to upgrade all the orange Great Spirit weapons to blue Great Spirit weapons. Now, the Spirit Snake Whip was even more powerful. Several whip shadows came down densely, and Li Xiao Jie once again struck out with his palm. However, Li Xiao Jie's strength was much weaker than Qin Feng's, and his corpse chi was quickly engulfed by the blue whip shadows. In the end, it struck Li Xiao Jie's chest. Puff! Li Xiao Jie was like a kite with its string cut. He flew through the air and spat out a large mouthful of black blood. You dare to kidnap my people? Today, I'll send you to hell. Qin Feng already had enmity with Li Xiao Jie. With a casual slap, a dense fireball flew out and instantly enveloped the ground where Li Xiao Jie was. However, Li Xiao Jie's scream did not come from the fireball. He dodged to the side and arrived at the side of the wild dog that had fallen to death. Under Qin Feng and Lia's astonished gazes, Li Xiao Jie picked up the wild dog that had been dead for a long time. He pierced his palm through the wild dog's stomach and dug out all the internal organs. These internal organs were already lifeless, and their color had already turned black and dry. However, Li Xiao Jie liked these organs very much. He placed them on his nose and sniffed them a few times, then opened his mouth and ate them all. A stench wafted through the factory. Leah was so scared that she almost fainted. She was completely disgusted by Li Xiao Jie today. How could there be such a perverted man in this world? Even Qin Feng was terrified. He had long heard that the verdant sect was an evil sect, and that the disciples' cultivation methods were extremely cruel and disgusting. Seeing it today, it was even more terrifying than Qin Feng had imagined. Qin Feng and Li Yo were extremely disgusted, but Li Xiao Jie had an expression of extreme enjoyment. He did not directly swallow the organs, but chewed them in his mouth as if they were delicious. After eating, he even licked the black blood on his fingers and looked at Qin Feng with a playful smile. Burp! Li Xiao Jie burped. He could smell the stench even from a distance away. Leah could not take it anymore. She grabbed the angel's sword and squatted on the ground, vomiting. Qin Feng was also extremely disgusted. He waved the spirit snake whip and lashed out. Crack! Crack! As if thunder and lightning had sounded, dozens of whip shadows followed the sound and instantly surrounded Li Xiao Jie. However, Li Xiao Jie was not afraid at all. The smile on his face became even brighter as he suddenly struck out with his palm. An aura that seemed to be able to topple mountains and overturn the seas burst out. The whip shadows suddenly disappeared, and a thick black fog that was like a rolling cloud instantly filled the entire factory. Qin Feng, no matter how powerful you are, today is the day you die. Li Xiao Jie suddenly became stronger. This guy had eaten a meal of corpse chi, and his organs exploded. Fortunately, Leah had the protection of the angel's sword, and everything within a meter of her was bright. However, Qin Feng was drowned in the surging corpse aura. It was difficult for him to even open his eyes, let alone determine Li Xiao Jie's location. Li Xiao Jie continued to run at an extremely fast speed, like a ghost. He was looking for an opportunity to make his move. After running for an unknown period of time, he suddenly appeared behind Qin Feng and struck out with his palm. Boom! The thick black fog condensed into a black fireball and instantly engulfed Qin Feng's location. Leah screamed in fright and rushed over to help with the angel's sword. When she arrived at Qin Feng's location, the surrounding black fog started to dissipate, and the angel's sword emitted a holy light. Illuminating the surroundings, Leah and Li Xiao Jie were both startled. Qin Feng was not there at all. A gust of wind appeared behind Li Xiao Jie, causing his expression to change drastically. He did not even have the chance to react before his entire body was sent flying. Puff! Li Xiao Jie spat out another few mouthfuls of black blood as he directly sank into the hard wall. There were no more corpses in the huge factory for Li Xiao Jie to replenish his energy. He was completely at his wit's end. TSK Tisk. You evil cultivators are really unscrupulous in order to break through. You even eat corpses. You're simply insane. The spirit snake whip in Qin Feng's hand had turned into a spirit rush sword, emitting a faint blue light. Li Xiao Jie coughed and couldn't even speak. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. It was not Li Xiao Jie's idea to use animal corpses to replenish his energy. Even the Verdant Sect had never done this before. The Verdant Sect was the #1 evil cultivator sect in China. Their main method of cultivation was to use human organs to cultivate. Ever since Qin Feng gave Li Xiao Jie a pig's heart and dog's kidney at Feng Yun Fun City, the Verdant Sect discovered a new shortcut. It turned out that they could use animal organs to achieve a breakthrough, and it was even faster. Moreover, animals could be bred in large quantities, but humans were not so easy to obtain. Therefore, the Verdant Sect used Li Xiao Jie as their main experimental subject and began to cultivate him. Currently, Li Xiao Jie was an omnivore who ate both humans and animals. Ahem. Qin Feng, do you really dare to kill me? I'm the Verdant Sect's disciple. If you kill me, the Verdant Sect will not rest until you're dead. Li Xiao Jie was severely injured and had no way to resist. All he could do was to threaten Qin Feng. How could Qin Feng be scared? He was a man who could kill people. You don't have to worry about that. After I'm done with you, I'll find some time to eradicate the Verdant Sect base. You freaks who are neither human nor ghost will only bring disaster to this world. Qin Feng wasn't afraid of the Verdant Sect at all. Moreover, even if he didn't kill Li Xiao Jie, the Verdant Sect wouldn't let Qin Feng go. Rumble. Qin Feng raised his hand, and a ball of destructive fire shot out. In the next moment, Li Xiao Jie was engulfed in flames. He didn't even have time to scream before he was engulfed by the flames and disappeared from the world. Li Xiao Jie was completely dead. Not even his ashes were left. This time, Qin Feng didn't have to worry about Li Xiao Jie coming back to life. If Li Xiao Jie really came back to life, Qin Feng would be scared to death. Qin Feng, are you all right? Leah heaved a sigh of relief when she saw the flames had dissipated and Li Xiao Jie was gone. She hastily ran to check on Qin Feng's injuries. Chapter 956. Li Xiao Jie had finally died, and Qin Feng had one less worry in his heart. The abandoned factory still had a foul smell, but Qin Feng and Leah had already walked out. The evening breeze on the plains of the suburbs blew on their faces like fresh air, making them feel as if they had crawled out of a sewer. Leah was still lying in Qin Feng's embrace, unwilling to come out, because Qin Feng's embrace gave her a sense of security. Leah's heart was filled with warmth. She couldn't even remember how many times Qin Feng had saved her from dire straits. Last time, Qin Feng rushed over from Hong Kong, and this time, Qin Feng seemed to have gone to the United States. How did Qin Feng rush back? Qin Feng, did you really come back on a rocket? Leah suddenly woke up. Qin Feng took off the lover lock from Leah's neck and was about to throw it away when Leah snatched it back. What are you doing? This thing can only be used once. It's useless once it's broken, Qin Feng explained. However, Leah still held onto the lover lock tightly in her hands and pouted. Then I still want to keep it. This is something you gave me, and it even saved my life. All right, is this a martial artist's spirit weapon? I just became a beautiful girl warrior. Qin Feng chuckled as he rubbed Leah's jade back. You can say that. When you break the lover lock, you will have 80% of my power for half an hour. Leah cried out in alarm. She knew that Qin Feng was one of the 9 dragons of China, so he was at least at the inner 9th level. No wonder he was so powerful at that time. I'll put this on for you. Although it's not as powerful as the lover lock, it can still protect you a few times. With a wave of his hand, Qin Feng bought a defensive necklace from his system. The necklace was strung together by ruby-like beads, and when worn on Leah's fair neck, it was extremely dazzling. Leah held onto the defensive necklace and couldn't bear to part with it. She felt that Qin Feng was really good to her. These spirit weapons were quite precious, but Qin Feng gave them to her without any hesitation. Xiaoya, you asked me how I came here. Do you want to see my mount? Qin Feng chuckled as he looked at Leah. Great. You didn't ride the divine eagle here, did you? Just as Leah was fantasizing, she suddenly heard a burst of bird cries. The sound was so loud that it almost broke Leah's eardrums. Holy shit. No way. He really came here on the divine condor. No, it doesn't look like an eagle. Is it a phoenix? Leah was stunned by the incomparably huge flaming golden condor in front of her. The golden condor's entire body was golden and bright, illuminating the surrounding darkness. Its feathers rippled in the wind like burning flames. This is a flaming golden falcon, a little pet of mine. Do you want to sit on it and feel it? Qin Feng said that this was a little pet, but Leah did not agree at all. This little pet was even bigger than a house. Leah was still in a daze when he realized that he was already riding on the flaming golden eagle. It turned out that this phoenix did not have any flames on its body, and its feathers were still very soft to the touch. Leah's courage gradually grew, and she started to touch the golden eagle's body. The golden eagle's back was extremely big, and Leah was fine even after running around on it. Fly, I'm actually flying. The flaming golden eagle rushed into the clouds. Qin Feng used the invisibility cloak to cover the golden eagle, so he was not afraid of being exposed. Leah watched as the ground beneath her feet became smaller and smaller. The huge factory was now the size of an ant. This feeling was too magical, 10,000 times better than sitting on a plane. After messing around for a while, Leah was tired from running and came back to sit beside Qin Feng. The wind was howling all around, and Leah was shivering a little. Qin Feng hugged Leah in his embrace, and from time to time, he would touch Leah's shoulder. Xiaoya, have you heard of the saying, 1,000 miles in a day? Qin Feng suddenly asked in all seriousness. Leah looked at Qin Feng foolishly. I've heard of it. We can be considered to be moving 1,000 miles in a day right now. Qin Feng shook his head. Not yet 1,000 miles, not even a day. Leah was confused. Her eyes rolled back and forth. Suddenly her face turned red, and she bashfully pounded Qin Feng's chest. Scoundrel, you're never serious? Qin Feng let Leah hit him. It felt like a massage. Leah acted coquettishly for a while, then suddenly thought of the scene of Li Xiaojia fighting the wild dog in the factory, and Leah's face instantly turned even redder. Qin Feng was just joking around. He did not expect Leah's red lips to suddenly press against him. Just as Qin Feng was about to speak, Leah spoke first. You're not allowed to say it. Lie down obediently. This was Leah's first time. She originally didn't know anything, but she had to pretend to be very powerful and take the initiative. Qin Feng followed Leah and laid comfortably on the back of the golden eagle. Leah struggled for a long time, but still failed. In the end, it was Qin Feng who pressed down on Leah's shoulder and successfully broke through. As a supreme playboy, Qin Feng had tried all sorts of places and scenes. Somewhere on the car, somewhere on the fire dragon horse, somewhere in the room, the balcony, the sofa, the coffee table, and the bathroom. However, this was Qin Feng's first time trying to fly in the sky. This was truly 1,000 miles in a day. The cries of the flaming golden eagle could be heard continuously in the sky, and the intelligence agencies in all parts of China exploded. Not long ago, A flame ship that was suspected to have come from outer space had appeared in Hong Kong, and now a strange sound wave had appeared. Qin Feng and Leah still did not know that their battle had caused a sensation in China. After the two of them were done, Qin Feng let the golden eagle land and kept this stupid bird that did not know how to keep a low profile back into the system. This was the first time Leah had become a woman, and she could not leave Qin Feng at all. Her soft and delicate body leaned against Qin Feng's embrace, wishing that time would stop at this moment and stay with Qin Feng forever. Xiaoya, I'll send you back. After that, I also have to return to America. I still have a Dragon Gate mission to complete. When I'm done, I'll come back to see you. Qin Feng comforted Leah with a few words. Although Leah was unwilling to let Qin Feng leave, she was still a rather rational woman. After sending Leah back to the villa, Qin Feng rode the flaming golden eagle back to America. After traveling back and forth and the duration of the battle, it was already dark by the time Qin Feng returned to America. When Qin Feng arrived at the filming location, he found that the beauties and the director had already left. The long-awaited bed scene was ruined again. Qin Feng rushed back to Star Hotel. Rao Sherman and the other ladies were in Qin Feng's suite, watching TV in the living room. Qin Feng, you're back. Zhang Kuku was the first to rush up to Qin Feng. She threw herself into Qin Feng's arms and clung onto him like a koala. Qin Feng, are you all right? The other beauties gathered around Qin Feng and looked at him worriedly. Qin Feng forcefully pulled Zhang Kuku down from his body and smiled at everyone. I'm fine. Have you guys eaten yet? Let's go and have dinner together. Qin Feng guessed that the beauties must have not eaten yet. How could they be in the mood to eat when he was not back? Seeing that Qin Feng had returned safely, the ladies were relieved. Everyone went to the hotel to have dinner, and the atmosphere was very lively. After dinner, Qin Feng went back to his room. It was getting late, so Ma Xin and Han Ying went back to their rooms to rest. Just as Qin Feng laid down on the sofa, Yin Wushuang's voice sounded in his mind. Qin Feng, there's news from America. Qin Feng hastily sat up straight and asked, what's the plan? The high-ranking officials in America were furious after they learned about the William family's plan. The president said that he will dispatch the Blood Clan to help you complete the mission, said Yin Wushuang. Blood Clan? Could it be that they really exist on Earth? Qin Feng was stunned. He used to watch movies about vampires and werewolves in America. He did not expect that the Blood Clan still existed on Earth after the development of society. The Blood Clan does exist, and it has existed since the beginning of history. However, this is a top secret of the country. Even the common people in America don't know about the existence of the Blood Clan. It's just like how many people in China don't know about the existence of ancient martial artists. This is a protective measure taken by the government to prevent the public from panicking. Qin Feng had learned about the Blood Clan from the TV. However, the TV was somewhat fictitious. Yin Wushuang explained the situation of the Blood Clan to Qin Feng in detail. After all, Qin Feng would be joining the Blood Clan to deal with the William family in a few days. The Blood Clan is a clan of vampires. They drink blood to survive. The Blood Clan is in an awkward position in history. They are neither gods nor demons, and they are not humans. The Blood Clan is a mysterious clan. They look cold, noble, and elegant. They possess strength that ordinary people can't reach. They have pale skin and are nocturnal. Yin Wushuang explained in detail. Qin Feng felt a chill down his spine as he listened. He could not help but think of Li Xiaojie, whom he had just killed in Zhongchuan City. Why did the Blood Clan resemble the evil cultivators in China? Leader Yin, why did the American government arrange a group of vampires to complete the mission with me? What if they suddenly become hungry during the mission? They will eat me alive. Qin Feng felt depressed. He had waited for so long for reinforcements, but it was a group of crazy vampires. Yin Wushuang giggled. What are you talking about? The vampires have long been trained by the government, and now they only drink animal blood, not human blood. Qin Feng was relieved. It was not a problem for them not to drink human blood. Then, when should I act? The Blood Clan is ready and can act at any time. The 12 Peaks want us to act as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will be difficult to deal with the William family when they cultivate a level 6 arcanist. Yin Wushuang sounded worried. All right, I will look for Prince William tomorrow and infiltrate their base. Qin Feng also wanted to complete the mission as soon as possible. There was not a single level 6 arcanist in the William family. They might be able to deal with them, but who knew how powerful they would be after they cultivate a batch of level 6 arcanists? Just as Qin Feng was about to hang up, Yin Wushuang said in a remorseful tone, Qin Feng, I'm sorry. I applied to the 12 Peaks to help you, but they did not agree. They think the fewer people on this mission, the better. Otherwise, we will be exposed. That's good. I will be worried if you come, Qin Feng said. Chapter 9:57. The day of the Martial Arts Circle Convention drew closer. More and more outer martial artists came out of the mountains and entered the bustling city. These people usually stayed in the deep mountains and forests to train. Now that they entered the city, they would lose themselves at any moment. Most of the people who came out of the mountains went to Devil Beast Mountain. This was because Devil Beast Mountain had an abundance of spiritual herbs and spiritual plants. Everyone wanted to break through their cultivation before the Martial Arts Circle Convention began. Devil Beast Mountain and Hero City faced each other across the river. Moreover, they built a bridge over the river so they could enter and exit the city. Now, Hero City entered the eyes of the outer martial artists. Not only did the herbal sect discover Hero City's excellent location, but the outer martial artists also thought highly of Hero City. Martial Uncle Yuan Zhen. That castle is located in a treasured land with rich spiritual energy. It's surrounded by mountains on both sides, and it faces Devil Beast Mountain across the river. It's the best place to build a sect. A young monk dressed in a long gray cloth said to the old monk beside him. If Yuan Zhen had been arrogant and hot-tempered in the past, he would have immediately led the Shaolin disciples out of the mountains to occupy Hero City. However, after the disturbance in the martial arts circle, Yuan Zhen kept a low profile. He had witnessed the crouching tigers and hidden dragons of China. When he was beaten up by the young Qin Feng, Yuan Zhen didn't dare to be arrogant anymore. He was afraid that another young brat would appear and defeat all the Shaolin disciples. It's indeed a treasured land, but there's no hurry to seize it. Yuan Zhen glanced at the dozen or so disciples around him. These people were going to participate in the martial arts circle convention. Actually, Yuan Zhen had another concern. Not only was Shaolin Temple eyeing Hero City, but the dozens of outer martial arts sects were also eyeing Hero City. This was especially so for the herbal sect. Their sect master, Bai Yufei, had recently mobilized a large number of disciples to Hero City. It was obvious that he was going to attack Hero City. Who will be so bored as to interfere? He's here. Bai Yufei is here. It's really the herbal sect's sect master, Bai Yufei. His aura is so strange. Why can't I feel it? It can't be. Did Bai Yufei break through to the true energy stage? Only true Qi stage experts can completely suppress their true Qi to the level of an ordinary person. Some of the foreign martial artists who passed by Hero City stopped. Not too far away, a group of people dressed in robes made of white leaves walked over. There were more than 30 of them, and all of them held weapons in their hands. They were dressed like ancient people, and if they walked down the street, they would think that they were filming a historical drama. At the very front of the crowd was a man of unknown age. The man was in high spirits. His long hair was tied behind his head, fluttering in the wind. Both sides of his temples were long, and he held a slender sword in his hand. He looked just like Morong Fu from the demigods and semi-devils. Who is it? This is the holy land of Hero City, not Hungyan Studios. Bai Yufei had just walked to the entrance of Hero City when he was stopped by the phone group's guards. I'm not here to film. I want to see your city lord. A hint of disdain flashed across Bai Yufei's eyes. He felt that speaking to these commoners from the phone group was degrading his status as the medicine sect master. You can't see the city lord just because you want to. Hurry up and leave. The people from the phone group were also impatient. Young Master Qin wasn't in Hero City, and even if he was, not everyone could see young Master Qin. A hint of killing intent flashed across Bai Yufei's eyes. White Cloud, who was standing next to him, pointed at the phone group's guards and yelled, "Stinking brat! Hurry up and call your city lord out, or else you'll lose your life." A strong man from the phone group was stunned. He looked at White Cloud and said, I remember now. You guys were the ones who were beaten away a few days ago. Now you're here to cause trouble again? Do you think the people from Hero City are easy to bully?" The phone group's guard recognized White Cloud. White Cloud was so angry that he gritted his teeth. Saying that he was beaten away last time in front of so many people was a slap in the face. The people from the phone group learned their lesson this time. They knew that they weren't the ones who beat away White Cloud and the others last time. A fairy suddenly appeared and saved everyone. Seeing that these people were here to cause trouble again, one of the phone group's guards immediately ran to the side to call Huang Jinhua. Bai Yufei didn't even bother with the guard who made the call. He waved his hand and signaled for White Cloud to leave. "You guys, my identity is a little special. In the eyes of mortals like you, I'm a god. I really like this piece of land. Tell your city lord to come out and meet me. I want to take over this land. In the future, you guys will be outer disciples of the herbal sect. I can teach you martial arts and make you immortal." Bai Yufei saw that the people from the phone group were all commoners. He thought that the people living in Hero City were all commoners. Bai Yufei wanted to use the conditions of becoming a martial artist to entice these people. Then, he would easily take over Hero City. He wanted these people to work hard for him in the future and continue to help him manage Hero City. Bai Yufei's idea was very good. It was an excellent plan. However, the plan was wrong from the start. He had underestimated the power of Hero City. "Your identity is special? You say you're God? I think you're more like a lunatic." The people from the phone group were about to be amused to death by Bai Yufei. Was there something wrong with the people who came recently? Each of them was dressed strangely and spoke like they were either gods or immortals. When did so many lunatics appear in Huaxia? Could it be that some mental hospital closed down? Bai Yufei was so angry that the hair on his temples became crooked. As the head of the alchemy sect in the outer martial arts world, he was usually able to summon wind and rain. Everyone gave him some face, but in the end, he was scolded by a group of commoners. The sword in Bai Yufei's hand was about to be unsheathed at any time. Who dares to cause trouble in Hero City? Before Bai Yufei could make a move, an angry shout was heard. Huang Jinhua, Lu Jie, and Yunzhe rushed over with a large group of Hong sect disciples. Ever since someone came to cause trouble in Hero City, Lu Jie and Yunzhe had been guarding here every day, specifically waiting for the people from the alchemy sect to come. "Who are you guys?" Bai Yufei's expression changed slightly. He realized that Yunzhe and the other two had inner chi fluctuations on their bodies. Furthermore, the three of them were not weak. "We're from Hero City." Seeing that the other party was armed, Yunzhe pulled out the fire rod from his waist and looked at Bai Yufei. "Pretty boy, hurry up and get your people out of here. Otherwise, I won't be polite anymore." Lu Jie carried the Overlord slash and stood at the side with a dark expression like Guan Yu. Bai Yufei's eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets. He gave White Cloud a look. White Cloud had been suppressing his anger for a long time. The aura of an early stage 9 inner chi surged in all directions, scaring Huang Jinhua and the other two. Rumble. As if a muffled thunder had struck, the surroundings were enveloped by invisible inner chi. The members of the phone group directly fell to the ground and could not even breathe. Yunzhe and the other two stood in a triangle and released the aura in their bodies to resist. However, the three of them combined couldn't block White Cloud's aura. "Fuck, how strong is this person?" Lu Jie broke out in a cold sweat. Yunzhe gritted his teeth and forced himself not to speak. Huang Jinhua was currently at stage 7 inner chi and was the strongest among the three. Even he couldn't withstand White Cloud's aura. It's definitely the aura of a stage 9 inner chi. This time, we're in big trouble. Both sides did not fight, but they had already carried out a secret duel. Huang Jinghua's side was obviously inferior to the Dan Grandmaster. Moreover, the Dan Grandmaster only sent out White Cloud. Bai Yufei, who was the strongest among them, did not even bother to make a move. Bai Yufei gave White Cloud a look, and White Cloud suddenly stopped. Yunzhe and the others panted heavily. Their breathing was a little rapid. The members of the phone group were even more suffocated. They panted heavily, and 3 of them fainted due to the lack of oxygen. The other members of the phone group quickly took them away for treatment. I didn't expect you to have a stage 7 inner chi martial artist here. Bai Yufei sneered and looked at Huang Jinghua. Huang Jinghua and the other 2 lost their confidence. Now that Qin Feng was not here, they were no match for these people. The atmosphere instantly became tense, and the temperature plummeted as if it was about to freeze. At this moment, a delicate voice was heard. A beautiful figure floated in the air, followed by a blood-red whip that struck down at Bai Yufei. Lu Jie and the other 2 were scared to death. The person who came was Hua Yin, one of young Master Qin's women. Why did this girl attack them without asking about the situation? Rumble. When the blood-red whip was about to fall, a ball of flame suddenly appeared. Many disciples of the alchemy faction cried out in shock. They were clearly frightened by this scene. Only Bai Yufei and White Cloud, who were standing at the very front, did not move at all. Their expressions did not change at all. Bai Yufei glanced at White Cloud. White Cloud waved its hand, and an orange sword light flew out. Sister Hua, be careful. Lu Jie leaped up and stood in front of Hua Yin to protect her. The flaming whip was cut in half by the sword ray, and it fell to the ground far away and dissipated. The sword ray did not stop there. It went straight for Hua Yin. Hua Yin was in the air, and there was no room for her to dodge. Lu Jie blocked the sword ray for her. Puffed. The sound of skin being cut rang out. Lu Jie had already used his inner chi to protect his body, but the moment his inner chi met the sword ray, it was destroyed. The clothes on his upper body were torn apart, and his white fat body was covered with cuts. Blood spurted everywhere, and he fell heavily to the ground. Lu Jie, are you all right? Yunzhe quickly ran to check on Lu Jie's injuries. Lu Jie's injuries were not light, but fortunately, his life was not in danger. Hua Yin had already landed on the ground. She looked at Lu Jie on the ground, and her eyes were bloodshot. Hua Yin also came to check on the situation in Hero City. When she arrived, she found out that the troublemakers were from the Pill faction. The Pill faction had killed hundreds of people from the Hua family, and Hua Yin instantly went crazy. Wild dogs of the Pill faction, I'll kill you all. Hua Yin leaped up again, and the blood shadow whip lashed out crazily. There was raging fire, and there was ice. The scene was like 2 worlds of ice and fire. This time, White Cloud and Bai Yufei's eyes flashed with light. She's actually a dual attribute demonic cultivator. This girl is not bad. If we capture her back to the Pill faction and train her in alchemy, she will definitely be a genius in alchemy. Bai Yufei seemed to be talking to himself, but White Cloud had already flown out to catch Hua Yin. Chapter 958. Sister Hua, be careful. Hua Yin was a stage 6 demon cultivator, which was equivalent to a stage 7 inner chi martial artist. However, Hua Yin could not withstand a single blow from White Cloud, who was at the early stage of stage 9 inner chi. Huang Jinghua roared angrily as White Cloud was about to grab Hua Yin's shoulder. He threw dozens of darts at White Cloud and leaped forward. Oof, it's just a small trick. Fall. White Cloud swatted the darts at Hua Yin. His inner chi surged in all directions and deflected the darts. Hua Yin seized the opportunity and whipped White Cloud a few more times. White Cloud swatted at Hua Yin again and somersaulted backward. Rumble. Hua Yin and Huang Jinghua were sent flying in the air. The dozens of darts hit Huang Jinghua's body, piercing several bloody holes in his arms and thighs. Hua Yin fared better. She was sent flying by a powerful inner chi and was caught by Ren Xiao Yao when she landed on the ground. Zhao Lingxian, Lin Bei, Bai Qing, Liu Chun, the Su sisters, and Lu Wenjing were all here. The women stood in a row angrily as they made their moves. They looked as if they were ready to fight the medicine sex group at any time. Rin Xiao Yao handed Hua Yin over to Yun Xiao and leapt in front of the women. Her peerlessly beautiful face was filled with difficulty as her brows knitted together as if she was facing a great enemy. Rin Xiao Yao and Hua Yin were the most powerful among the girls. Rin Xiao Yao's stage 7 inner chi was on par with Hua Yin, but Hua Yin was sent flying by Rin Xiao Yao's palm. Lin Bei Bei, who was only at stage 2 inner chi, was nothing more than cannon fodder in this battle. Sisters, stand down. These people are too powerful. You're no match for them. Rin Xiao Yao was expelled from the Rin family. They forced her to live in Hero City every day. If she didn't sleep with Qin Feng, she wouldn't be able to step into the Rin family. Xiao Yao, you don't need to say anymore. It's fine for us sisters to bicker, but when enemies invade, we must work together to protect our home. Zhao Ling Xian's ethereal voice rang out. Her tone was very determined. Yes, we will not retreat. This is our home. Lin Bei Bei, who had always been weak, had a determined look on her face. The other women expressed their opinions as well. Of course, they could tell that the other party was powerful, but Qin Fen had left Hero City for everyone. Now that Qin Fen was gone, as the mistresses of Hero City, they had to protect their home with their lives. Shock flashed through Rin Xiao Yao's eyes. She finally understood why Qin Feng liked these women. These women were indeed worthy of Qin Feng's heavy responsibility and his life to give them happiness. Rin Xiao Yao didn't try to persuade anyone. She held her waning moon sword and stood at the front. She was now everyone's pillar of support. Sisters, go back quickly. The battlefield belongs to the men. As long as we don't die, we don't need you to fight. Yin Zhe was shocked. Although he rejected these women in his heart because he hoped that Big Brother Qin would only love Yin Xiao, at this moment, Yin Zhe was moved. He held the raging fire rod and leaped in front of Rin Xiao Yao, using the raging fire rod to block the girls and push them back. Damn it, didn't you just cultivate for a few more decades? What's there to be proud about? When I cultivate to your age, I can kill you with one hand. Lu Jie, who was covered in blood, gritted his teeth and stood up. He ran to Yun Zhe's side. His burly body was like a small hill as he stood in front of the women. Huang Jingwo also came. He gritted his teeth and pulled out the throwing knives on his body. He didn't care about the blood that spurted out. His blood-red eyes stared at Bai Yun. The women were anxious, and Lin Bei Bei was crying. Since the establishment of Hero City, they had encountered many troubles. However, this time's trouble was the most troublesome. Even Huang Jingwo felt a little hopeless. Bai Yufei looked at the group of people who were not afraid of death. The expression in his eyes was somewhat complicated. His gaze suddenly fell on Hua Yin. He felt that this woman was somewhat familiar. However, Bai Yufei couldn't figure it out at the moment. Bai Yin did not make a move. He had been waiting for his big brother's decision. Bai Yufei was determined to take over Hero City. He had wanted to discuss this matter before. He thought that the people in Hero City were ordinary people. According to the regulations between the Huaxia government and the outer martial arts world, the outer martial arts world forces could not attack ordinary people. However, Bai Yufei discovered that Hero City was not as simple as it seemed. It was clearly a base built by a martial artist. This was exactly what Bai Yufei wanted. The Chinese government could not interfere in the battles between the martial artists outside. Bai Yufei could go on a killing spree and occupy Hero City. Bai Yufei's eyes lit up. You're no match for the herbal sect. I'll give you one last chance. Surrender now and hand over the city. I can let you go and accept you as the outer sect disciples of the herbal sect. You will serve the herbal sect in the future. Otherwise, you will be killed on the spot. The Huaxia government did not interfere with the battles of the outer martial arts world. It was fine as long as it did not affect the lives of ordinary people. Bai Yufei had no scruples. In his eyes, Hua Yin and the others were merely a group of ants. Bai, you deceived your master and betrayed your sect 10 years ago. You killed the people of my Hua family and seized my alchemy sect. Today, you still dare to come and take over Hero City? You'll have to do it over my dead body. A furious roar was heard from afar. It sounded very far away, but in the span of a few breaths, a gray-robed elder appeared in the air and slammed his palm down. Boom! A loud explosion was heard. Bai Yufei did not move. However, his expression changed drastically and his eyes flickered with disbelief. Bai Yin was also stunned. Then he swung his sword. More than 10 sword rays flashed and exploded in mid-air with the elder's inner chi. It felt as if the ground was shaking. Loud explosions were heard. It was the aftermath of the explosion. The members of the phone group who were guarding the perimeter of Hero City retreated. It was not that they were afraid of death. It was because the battle had gone beyond what they could accept. Bai Yin landed on the ground after a few slashes. The gray-robed elder landed next to Hua Yin. "It's you? Hua Bei." Bai Yufei regained his senses. However, the shock in his eyes had yet to fade. Hua Yin pouted and glared at Bai Yufei. She scolded, "How dare you call my grandfather by his name? He's your master." The person who came was Hua Yin's grandfather. 10 years ago, he was also Bai Yufei's master, Hua Bei. 10 years ago, Hua Bei was impressed by Bai Yufei's talent in alchemy. Thus, he accepted Bai Yufei as a disciple of the alchemy faction. He personally taught Bai Yufei the art of alchemy. However, when Bai Yufei had some achievements, he secretly framed the Hua family. He took away the alchemy faction and renamed it the alchemy faction. Hua Bei and the others were poisoned. In order to save them, Hua Bei destroyed his own cultivation and forcefully brought Hua Yin and his grandchildren away. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. Now that the master and disciple met again, the atmosphere was completely different. It was said that a master for a day was a father for life. However, the master and disciple pair had now become irreconcilable enemies. Yin Yin, that bastard is the Hua family's #1 enemy. He is not my disciple. Our master-disciple relationship was severed 10 years ago. Hua Bei said coldly. Bai Yufei suddenly laughed. He did not expect Hua Bei to still be alive. For the past 10 years, Bai Yufei had been searching for Hua Bei. He was worried about her. Now that he had met her in Hero City, he was overjoyed. "Great! You old fart, you're really lucky. I should have killed you 10 years ago, but I let you live for another 10 years. However, the result is still the same. None of the Hua family members will escape today." As soon as Bai Yufei finished speaking, Bai Yun swung his sword. Hua Bei leaped into the air again and fought with Bai Yun. In the past 10 years, Hua Bei had used medicinal pills to restore her strength to the early stage of Stage 9 inner chi. Not even Hua Yin knew about this. Bang! 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 The battle was unusually intense. Thunderous noises kept ringing in Bai Yufei's ears. Bai Yufei's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Originally, he only wanted to take over Hero City, but he did not expect that Hero City was the Hua family's territory. What Bai Yufei did 10 years ago could be considered as heartless. He did not want this to spread out. Today, he wanted to bathe Hero City in blood. Buzz! The faint sound of sword rang. Bai Yufei unsheathed the sword in his hand. The sword flashed, and blood splattered everywhere. "Xiao Yao, are you all right?" Ren Xiao Yao was a Stage 7 inner chi martial artist. Her moon shroud swordsmanship was extremely profound. When Qin Feng used the 9 swords of Dugu against her, he was amazed by Ren Xiao Yao's swordsmanship. However, under Bai Yufei's sword, Ren Xiao Yao did not even have the chance to make a move. She did not even have the time to unsheath the waning moon sword. She was already lying on the ground a dozen meters away. Hua Yin quickly went to check on Ren Xiao Yao's injuries. The women rushed toward Bai Yufei with cold faces. Huang Jinghua, Yin Zhe, and Lu Jia were so scared that they screamed. If something happened to one of their sisters-in-law, they would be too ashamed to face Qin Feng. 3 figures flashed quickly and pounced on Bai Yufei first. "Oomph! A bunch of ants." Bai Yufei sneered. He swung the sword in his hand. It looked slow, but in the next second, Yun Zhe and the other 2 were sent flying and landed on the ground dozens of meters away. Blood flowed like a river at the entrance of Hero City. The disciples of the Hong sect had all fallen. At this moment, only Zhao Ling Xian and the other women were left standing outside Hero City. Hua Bei and Bai Yun were equally powerful. The two of them were fighting to the death. Hua Bei looked over and was so anxious that her neck turned red. "You're no match for him. Run." Hua Bei yelled at the women, but they did not listen to her. The beauties were divided into teams. When they saw each other, they would bicker and quarrel. When it got serious, they would even fight each other. However, in the face of an enemy, the beauties had already put aside their internal conflicts. They were like sisters. They looked at each other, and their eyes shone with determination. "Sisters, stay alive. I'm going to quarrel with you for the rest of my life." Zhao Ling Xian yelled and took the lead to stab it by Yufei. Lin Bei hurriedly followed. The beautiful Su sisters leapt up. Bai Qing and Li Yuqin's expressions were grave and stern. Lu Wenjing waved her long whip, and even the youngest Lu Xiao Jia yelled and waved her fist to keep up with the older sisters. The women attacked as if they were goddesses descending to the mortal world. Chapter 9:59. Buzz. A crisp sound was heard. No one saw how Bai Yufei attacked with his sword. It was so fast that it almost disappeared. The sword qi disappeared in a flash. Lu Jie, Huang Jinghua, and Yun Zhe were lying on the ground. The three of them had ferocious looks on their faces as they kept shouting the girls' names. Hua Yin and Rin Xiao Yao felt their hearts skip a beat. They could almost see the tragic scene that was about to happen. The two girls could not accept this fact. Tom seemed to have stopped at this moment. Everyone was filled with despair. "How dare you create trouble in Hero City, you little brat?" An old voice sounded as if it came from the ancient times. Lu Jie and the others quickly looked up. A white shadow was floating in the air. It was Hua Tuo, the miracle doctor. Rumble. Hua Tuo slapped by Yufei with his palm. The air seemed to crack, and a turbulent aura blocked in front of the girls, dissipating the aura of the sword. The girls were still in shock. Hua Tuo had already landed on the ground. His skinny body looked like it could be blown away by a gust of wind. However, standing in front of everyone, he gave them a sense of security that they had never felt before. Bai Yufei was stunned. His eyes were shining with surprise as he looked at Hua Tuo from head to toe. Hua Tuo was wearing a white robe and stood with his hands behind his back. The wrinkles on his face symbolized the vicissitudes of life that Hua Tuo had experienced. His white eyebrows were slightly furrowed, and his white beard was fluttering in the wind. Bai Yufei looked at Hua Tuo, and Hua Tuo looked back at him. The two of them were obviously the strongest in the scene. However, they did not have any aura on them. Bai Yufei's heart was soon shaken. His calmness was broken because he realized that the old man in front of him was also a true energy stage expert. The strength of Hero City had long surpassed Bai Yufei's expectations. "Who are you? Which faction are you from?" Hua Tuo did not speak. Bai Yufei could not understand Hua Tuo at all. He could not help but ask. "Hua Tuo from the Hero Alliance." Bai Yufei was stunned again. In the martial arts world outside of Huaxia, there were very few true Qi stage experts. Logically speaking, those who could step into the true Qi stage were all famous figures in the martial arts world. However, Bai Yufei did not know Hua Tuo, which was why he asked. However, the Hero Alliance that Hua Tuo mentioned and the name that he said were extremely unfamiliar. "I'm Bai Yufei, the leader of the herbal faction. Why haven't I heard of the Hero Alliance?" Bai Yufei announced his name. The herbal sect's reputation in the martial arts world was still quite resounding. Bai Yufei was trying to suppress Hua Tuo in terms of reputation. A pensive look flashed across Hua Tuo's face before he quickly regained his senses. "The medicine sect? So you're the little thief who snatched away little friend Bai's alchemy sect. You grandson, why aren't you kneeling down when you see your grandfather?" Hua Tuo had established the Divine Pill sect during his era. The current Hua Yin and the others were a branch of the Divine Pill sect. As time passed, the surname Hua was changed to Hua, and the Divine Pill sect was changed to Pill sect by the Hua family. Hua Tuo was indeed the ancestor of the Hua family. Bai Yufei was Hua Bei's disciple 10 years ago, so he had to address Hua Tuo as his ancestor. Hua Tuo was not lying. However, Bai Yufei had no idea about this complicated relationship. If he knew that the Hua Tuo in front of him was the same as the legendary Dr. Hua Ta. He would be scared to death. Old fart, I'm trying to negotiate with you, but you're trying to take advantage of me. Don't think that I'm afraid of you. If we really fight, it's hard to say who will win. Bai Yufei was indeed afraid of Hua Tuo's skills, which was why he said so much nonsense. Hua Tuo's expression turned cold, and his voice sounded like a muffled thunder. You unfilial grandchild, your grandfather will teach you a lesson today. Hua Tuo's aura suddenly surged, and the turbulent aura surged out like a tidal wave. The herbal faction's disciples were pressed to the ground and could not get up. Bai Yufei's expression was solemn, and he looked like a completely different person compared to his frivolous self earlier. Without any time to think, Bai Yufei quickly swung his sword at Hua Ta. Hua Ta used his palm, while Bai Yufei used his sword. The two of them ran to an empty plain in the distance. Even from thousands of meters away, they could hear the rumbling sounds of battle. The people in Hero City and the martial artists who passed by the area outside were stunned. There were very few true Qi experts in Huaxia, and now there were two of them. Watching Hua Tuo and Bai Yufei fighting, everyone felt like it was the end of the world. Bei, are you okay? Is everyone okay? After the girls came to their senses, they began to check each other's injuries. Lu Jie, Yun Zhe, and Huang Jinghua looked into the distance like they were going senile. Only now did they know that Hua Tuo was a true Qi expert. The three of them were so scared that they were drenched in sweat when they thought about how they would go to the herb garden to steal spiritual pearls and herbs to achieve a breakthrough. The martial artists from the outer world were completely dumbfounded. These people came from various sections. Shaolin Temple, Wudong Sect, and the other big sects were among them. Many of them had been discussing about taking over Hero City earlier. But at this moment, those thoughts were completely destroyed. Rumble, rumble. The battle in the distance was still going on, but almost no one could see the details of the battle. Bai Yufei and Hua Tuo turned into two rays of light, one green and one white. Occasionally, the two of them would land on the ground, but in the blink of an eye, they would disappear again. However, the cracked rocks and the shaking ground told everyone that the battle was still going on, and it was extremely intense. Hua Bei and Bai Yun stopped fighting, and both of them returned to their respective teams. They also watched the battle in the distance. Bai Yufei's long sword was so fast that it was invisible, but it could not hurt Hua Ta. Hua Tuo was barehanded, but it did not affect his strength. True Qi experts could release their true Qi and transform it into various forms. If Hua Tuo had a sword in his heart, he could transform his true Qi into a sword. If he needed fire, he could transform his true Qi into fire. Bang, bang, bang. Hua Tuo landed a dozen palm strikes in a row, but they were all completed in an instant. A dozen fireballs fell from the sky, and Bai Yufei leaped to avoid the attack. The fireballs hit the ground and instantly created a dozen deep pits. The battle only lasted for 10 minutes, but the two of them had exchanged more than 1,000 blows. Hua Ta was a true Qi stage expert, but he lacked battle experience. When Qin Feng first got Hua Ta, Shimen Chue Shui told him that if they were to fight, Shimen Chue Shui was confident that he could trap Hua Ta. Apart from battle experience, Hua Tuo was facing another huge problem. The current era of Earth was very different from the era he was born in. The magnetic field of the fireballs had changed drastically. Ever since Hua Tuo was released from the system, he had to endure the interference of Earth's magnetic field. Fortunately, he had gotten used to Earth's magnetic field after staying in Hero City for more than 2 months. If it were Shimen Chue Shui or Ouyang Feng, 10 minutes would be more than enough for them to drop a few levels. Hua Tuo's level had dropped from True Qi stage to the peak of stage 9 Inner Qi. The difference was obvious. Huh, old man, you're too old, and your stamina is too weak. Bai Yufei soon noticed the abnormality in Hua Tuo's body, and he couldn't help but laugh. Hua Tuo did not waste any more time. He wanted to end the battle as soon as possible. Rumble. Several more fireballs flew down, heading straight for Bai Yu. However, this time, Bai Yufei did not dodge. Instead, he swung his long sword at Hua Ta. An invisible wave of air rippled in front of Hua Tuo. Hua Tuo did not dodge either. Instead, he waited for Bai Yufei to come to him. When the two of them appeared again, time seemed to have stopped. Everyone could finally see the situation clearly. Shit, Hua Tuo is going to get hurt. Hua Bei was not weak either. She quickly saw through the current situation. Everyone in Hero City was worried about Hua Tuo, and the martial artists outside of Hero City were screaming in shock. The battle between true Qi stage masters was too terrifying. Old man, go to hell. Bai Yufei's sword was already in front of Hua Tuo. A hint of excitement flashed in his eyes. Hua Tuo still did not dodge. At the critical moment, he suddenly moved his body to the side. The long sword fell and pierced through Hua Tuo's left arm. However, at this moment, a bolt of lightning struck down from the sky and landed on Bai Yufei's head. Rumble. Sword Qi exploded and thunder rumbled. Both Hua Tuo and Bai Yufei fell from the sky, creating two deep pits on the ground. Hua Bei and Bai Yufei's expressions changed. The two of them flew away at the same time. Bai Yufei was lying in a deep pit. His body was charred by the lightning, and black smoke was rising from it. Hua Tuo was also severely injured. One of his arms was covered in blood, and he could no longer lift it. Senior Hua Tuo, are you okay? Hua Bei was the first to arrive. She quickly took out a bottle of pills and fed it to Hua Tuo. Bai Yin also came to Bai Yufei's side and pulled him to the ground. Looking at his brother, who was battered by the lightning, Bai Yun's eyes almost popped out. Big brother, are you okay? Bai Yufei felt pain all over his body. That bolt of lightning had hurt him badly. Bai Yufei could have stabbed Hua Tuo to death, but he did not expect the old man to have the ability to use lightning. True Qi stage masters could convert their true Qi into fire and ice, but they could only do so after breaking through to stage 6 of true Qi. Bai Yufei had been careless. Let's retreat first. Once I recover, I will bathe Hero City in blood. Bai Yufei gritted his teeth and said. Bai Yin did not dare to delay and carried Bai Yufei away. Most of the 30-odd disciples from the medicine sect were now lying in a pool of blood. The 5 or 6 disciples who could crawl to their feet hurriedly caught up with the sect master and Elder Bai Yin. As for those who could not crawl to their feet, no one cared whether they lived or died. Don't chase after them. You can't beat them. Hua Bei saw that the herbal sect leader was about to escape, so she picked up her sword and chased after them. However, she was stopped by Hua Tuo. Hua Bei's hatred could not be extinguished, but she still returned to Hua Tuo's side. Senior, let me help you recover. Hua Bei helped Hua Tuo to the gate of Hero City. The girls surrounded them. Hua Tuo looked at them and said, The injured and the women, follow me back. The rest of you stay here. The herbal sect will not give up. We have to recover as soon as possible and be ready for battle. The members of the Hong sect and the phone group stayed to guard Hero City. The girls refused to leave, but Hua Tuo persuaded them again and again. The sudden attack from the herbal sect had caused great damage to Hero City, but no one wanted to report it to Qin Feng. They knew that Qin Feng had more important things to do, and they did not want to distract him. This battle also made Hero City famous in the martial arts world and the Hero Alliance famous. Chapter 960. The filming of Hedonist Sovereign was completed. The bed scene that Qin Feng had been looking forward to since the beginning of filming never came to fruition. At least Qin Feng and Zhang Kuku were able to turn their act into reality. When he recalled how he fought with Zhang Kuku and the shy expressions of Rao Sherman and the other beauties, Qin Feng couldn't help but feel excited. Now that the filming was complete, Qin Feng should return to China. However, the William family's mission had not been completed, so Qin Feng could not leave now. Under Qin Feng's repeated persuasion, Rao Sherman and the other women returned to China. The staff from Hong Kong's House of Millions Media also left. Qin Feng was the only one left in America. Qin Feng, the Dragon Sect, has contacted the Blood Kindred. The Blood Kindred's prince wants to meet with you first. Yin Wushuang's voice rang in Qin Feng's mind. She had been chatting with Qin Feng almost every day for the past few days. Where's the location? Qin Feng replied telepathically. Let's meet at your hotel at 1 in the afternoon. I'll send you their contact details. As soon as Yen Wushuang sent the message, the doorbell rang. Qin Feng went to open the door. A tall and sturdy man stood at the door. Qin Feng. The man was Caucasian. He wore a black windbreaker, a round hat, and a pair of black sunglasses. But he spoke in Huaxia. Qin Feng froze for a moment, then quickly reacted. A blood-breed prince? After hearing Qin Feng's reply, the man walked into the room and sat down on the sofa. Didn't you say to meet at 1 p.m.? You came 2 hours earlier? Qin Feng looked at his watch and asked, Hello, I'm Dracula, a descendant of the Brute clan. Dracula didn't answer Qin Feng's question. Instead, he stood up to shake hands with Qin Feng. As soon as Qin Feng grabbed Count's hand, he immediately felt a boundless force pulling him over. Oh, whoa! Dracula's face, which was as pale as a sheet, suddenly became sinister. He opened his bloody mouth and tried to bite Qin Feng's neck. Qin Feng didn't even have time to react. Didn't they say that these blood tribe members had been tamed and wouldn't drink human blood? It wasn't like that at all. Huh, Brother Qin Feng, I was just joking with you, but your willpower is very strong, so you could be the spy for this mission. Just as Count's teeth were about to touch Qin Feng's neck, he suddenly retreated and grinned at Qin Feng. Qin Feng patted his chest. He thought to himself that if Count had retreated a fraction of a second later, he would have killed him. Dracula, you're such a lame person. Don't you know that random jokes can kill people? Qin Feng rolled his eyes at Dracula. Dracula laughed. Don't worry, I won't really bite you to death. Qin Feng curled his lips. You're the one who's going to die. Count froze for a moment, then laughed heartily. Ha! Interesting, interesting. You Chinese are indeed very confident. You're the first one to say something like that to me. However, I'm afraid you don't have the strength to do so. Seeing that Dracula wanted to spar with him, Qin Feng waved his hand and said, Forget it. You don't understand how powerful I am. I'd better not spar with you. Otherwise, the U.S. government will send a new blood tribe leader to meet me before our cooperation even begins. The smile on Dracula's face froze, and he suddenly punched. There was no inner chi in his fist. It was more like a punch from an ancient martial artist who practiced external techniques. The air seemed to have been shattered. Qin Feng couldn't predict the hidden force in this punch. However, he felt a strong sense of death coming toward him. Dracula actually made Qin Feng nervous. Rumble. Thunder rumbled and tiger roared. Qin Feng punched out and collided with Dracula's fist. The room shook violently. Debris fell from the ceiling of the ceiling. The chandelier hanging in the middle of the living room shook violently as if it was going to fall at any moment. Bang! Qin Feng lost his balance and was sent flying backward. Dracula didn't move an inch, but he was shorter than before. His shoes sank into the ground. Yen Wushuang had given Qin Feng a detailed introduction of the blood tribe. The blood tribe lived in the day and came out at night. They possessed strength that was beyond the reach of ordinary people. After this punch, Qin Feng finally believed it. Dracula's strength was at the 9th stage of external technique. Rumble. Qin Feng freed himself from the wall and sent out 2 balls of destructive fire. Panic flashed in Dracula's eyes. The blood tribe was afraid of fire. Brother Qin Feng, I was just joking. Take your fire away. In the blink of an eye, the fireballs landed in front of Dracula. Dracula couldn't stay calm anymore. He wanted to dodge, but the fireballs seemed to have eyes. No matter where he ran, the 2 balls of fire chased after him. Joking? You sent me flying, and you're done with a joke? Qin Feng wasn't a person who would let himself be taken advantage of. Dracula flew around the room. Qin Feng found that the blood tribe was not only strong, but also fast. He was like a bolt of lightning. I just want to see Brother Qin Feng's strength and see if you have the ability to accept this mission. If your strength is too low, I'll advise you to quit. Otherwise, you'll die in vain. Dracula's voice was anxious. It seemed like he was really frightened by the 2 balls of fire. However, Qin Feng didn't stop. He shouted, Then you have to let me punch you. Dracula almost stumbled and fell. He felt that Qin Feng was like a child when he threw a tantrum. Quick, hit me. After running for a while, Dracula couldn't take it anymore. He took the initiative to come to Qin Feng's side and let him hit him. Qin Feng kicked him. Dracula didn't dodge and directly sank into the opposite wall. Rumble. Qin Feng waved his hand, and the two fireballs disappeared. Dracula couldn't help but vomit a mouthful of blood. However, he didn't cry out in pain. Dracula, are you okay? Qin Feng put on a worried expression and ran over to pull Dracula out. Dracula's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. He sat down on the sofa angrily. Let's talk about the plan. Qin Feng's expression returned to normal. He poured himself a cup of tea. Go ahead. Dracula ran for a long time. His lips were dry from thirst. However, after waiting for a long time, Qin Feng only poured him a cup of tea. This made Dracula angry again. The reason why I came in advance was to prevent spies from appearing in the Chinese government and to prevent my identity from being exposed. Then there are no spies in the U.S. government? Are you trying to cause trouble? Qin Feng rolled his eyes at Dracula. Dracula poured himself a cup of water and drank it in one gulp. Of course there are spies in the U.S. government. Therefore, I only listened to the arrangements of one superior for this mission. I can guarantee that there won't be any mistakes on the U.S. side. You have to guarantee that there won't be any mistakes on the Chinese side. Dracula was very cautious. Qin Feng quite liked working with people like him. Chapter 961. I'm the only one participating in the mission from Huaxia. How can I be a spy? Besides, I was the one who discovered the William family's plan. If I were a spy, why would I tell the U.S. government? Qin Feng discovered another weakness of the Blood Clan, and it seemed that they had some problems with their intelligence. All right, then we can discuss the plan further. Dracula said, according to the U.S. intelligence agency, the William family is using the Iron Tank Corps as a training base. Since you have the fire ability and are favored by the William family, you need to infiltrate the William family and find the precise location of the experimental base and send it to us. According to the U.S. intelligence agency, the William family's Arcana experimental base is training level 6 Arcanists. They are also conducting an experiment that can train ordinary people into Arcanists in batches. Once they succeed in the experiment, it will lead to a disaster on the entire Earth. Dracula said seriously, and his brows were knitted together. Qin Feng's mouth twitched, and he yelled at Dracula, "Damn it! This is what the U.S. intelligence agency found out. This is obviously the news that Sir System told you guys." Dracula blushed, and he was a little embarrassed. Ahem. Since Brother Qin Feng has understood the urgency and crisis of the situation, let us discuss the details of our cooperation. This time, our main mission is to destroy the experimental base. We don't need to fight the Iron Tank Corps. After the experimental base is destroyed, the U.S. military will take care of the rest. Dracula explained the plan proposed by the U.S. in detail, and it was similar to what Qin Feng had in mind. The Blood Clan is going to send a few hundred people to help me this time? Qin Feng asked. Dracula was stunned. He curled his lips and said, I'll try my best. I'll send about 30 people. Qin Feng was so angry that his nose was crooked. The William family had hundreds of metahumans, and they were even conducting experiments in the base of the Iron Tank Corps. It was fine if the United States did not send an army over, but they actually sent 30 vampires. This was too much of a scam. No, we have to send at least 500 members of the Blood Clan. Otherwise, we will be going to our deaths. Qin Feng disagreed. The corner of Dracula's mouth twitched violently, and he rolled his eyes. You probably don't understand us bloodbreeds. Our bloodline is very pure, and there are only 300 members in the entire Brooke branch of the blood breed. The selection of the blood race's descendants is extremely strict, and it requires the approval of the prince under them. Furthermore, nurturing descendants is also an extremely troublesome and long process. Where are you going to find 500 blood race members for you? Qin Feng was at his wit's end. The number of vampires on Earth was even fewer than the number of ancient martial artists in China. The two of them chatted for a while, then Dracula left first. After Dracula left, Qin Feng dialed the number that Prince William had left for him. Brother Zheng Shuai, I heard that the movie you filmed in the United States has been completed. Can you come to the William family for training now? The call was quickly connected, and Prince William's excited voice could be heard. Yeah, my movie is over. Do you guys have time? Come to the hotel and pick me up. Chin Feng said. Good. I'll go there myself. After hanging up the call with Prince William, she waited for more than an hour before Prince William rushed over. He drove the Lincoln limousine that Chin Feng sat in. Even though it was still daytime, the windows of the car were closed, so he could not see what was happening outside. Brother Zheng Shuai, it's great that you joined the William family. Only the William family can nurture a special ability user like you. In the car, Prince William took the initiative to chat with Chin Feng. Most of the conversation was about how great the William family was, and Chin Feng almost vomited after listening to it. The car drove smoothly, and by the time they arrived at the base of the Iron Tank Core, the sky had begun to darken. The two of them alighted from the car and arrived at the underground special ability training ground. The training ground was tens of thousands of square meters, and, as usual, there were hundreds of special ability users training nonstop. Ice, fire, thunder, and lightning abilities would appear from time to time, and the scene was spectacular. Little Zheng Shuai, you're here. Professor Mike walked over. He was supervising everyone's training in the base. Chin Feng nodded at Professor Mike as a greeting. Prince William smiled at Chin Feng and said, Brother Zheng Shuai, come with us to test your special ability level first. I still need a test? Didn't they say that I'm a rank 5 fire ability user? Chin Feng looked at the two of them blankly. Brother, your flame does seem to have reached the intensity of a rank 5 special ability, but this is just my and Professor Mike's conjecture. We have a special testing device here, so we have to follow the standard of the device. Moreover, even if you're a rank 5 special ability user, there's still a huge difference in strength. After Prince William explained, Chin Feng followed the two of them to a semi-enclosed room. In the room, there was a large, oddly shaped device. It was Chin Feng's first time seeing such a thing. How we test it? Chin Feng asked. You just need to activate your most powerful special ability and smash the flame on the device. Prince William explained patiently. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, Chin Feng smashed a ball of destructive flame at the device. A loud bang rang out, and the temperature rose by a few degrees. Prince William and Professor Mike were shocked. Bang! The fireball smashed on the device, and another muffled sound rang out. The three of them looked at the device, and Chin Feng was slightly stunned. He didn't know what material the device was made of, but it was not burned by the destructive flame. Oh my God! Impossible! How is this possible? Prince William and Professor Mike exclaimed at the same time. Both of them were acting like idiots, and Chin Feng was shocked by the two of them. Brother Prince, what's the result of the test? What are you guys shouting for? Chin Feng couldn't understand the device, but judging from Prince William and Professor Mike's reaction, something serious must have happened. The two of them stared fixedly at Chin Feng, as if they had discovered a treasure in the desert. Chin Feng got goosebumps just looking at them. After a long time, Prince William regained his senses. He stuttered, Why your result is too shocking. Why your flame has reached the level of a rank 6 special ability user. No wonder Prince William and Professor Mike were so shocked. The destructive flame belonged to the primordial fire of myriad beasts, so it was natural for it to be stronger. However, it was Chin Feng's turn to be shocked. The flame released by a rank 6 special ability user was comparable to the destructive flame? If that was the case, then he couldn't allow a rank 6 special ability user to be nurtured. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Chin Feng pretended to be confused and said foolishly, No way. My flame has reached the standard of a rank 6 special ability user? Don't tell me the device is broken. I don't know. Why don't you try another device? Prince William and Professor Mike were dumbfounded. They couldn't be sure if the device was broken, so they dragged Chin Feng to the testing room next door. Boom! After entering the house, Chin Feng didn't waste any time and shot out another ball of fire of destruction. This time, however, Chin Feng intentionally lowered the intensity of the fire of destruction. The device showed that it was a rank 5 fire ability. What level does it show? Qin Feng asked, playing dumb. Rank 5. Then the device over there is broken. Why don't I go over there and try again? Qin Feng ran next door and suppressed the intensity of the destructive flames. The test result was also level 5. This time, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Level 5 was normal. It should be known that in the entire William family, there had never been a level 6 mutant. By the way, why did the device suddenly fail? Was the strength of rank 6 high? Qin Feng was still worried about the rank 6 special ability user. I don't know why it suddenly failed. I've never encountered such a situation before. The test result was very high, reaching the peak strength of a rank 6 special ability user. I guess it's beyond the range of this device. Otherwise, it could be even higher. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief after hearing Prince William's explanation. It turned out that the destructive flame had reached the peak strength of the device. This meant that the destructive flame might not necessarily be the strength of a rank 6 special ability user. If the device allowed it, it might reach the strength of a rank 8 or rank 9 special ability user. Now that the test result is out, what should I do next? Qin Feng changed the topic. He had to find a research base as soon as possible. Even if Qin Feng deliberately suppressed the intensity of the destructive flame, the test result was still very high, reaching the peak of a rank 5 special ability user. Such a special ability user was extremely rare in the William family, and he was the focus of training. However, Qin Feng had just joined the William family, and Prince William and Professor Mike didn't trust him very much. Were they going to bring Qin Feng to the laboratory now? Would something go wrong? Why aren't you guys talking? Prince William and Professor Mike were weighing the pros and cons in their hearts. Qin Feng shouted again, and the two quickly came back to their senses. Hee, Brother Zheng Shuai, don't worry. You practice in the training field for a while. I'll go out with Professor Mike to discuss something. Prince William left Qin Feng behind, gave Professor Mike a look, and the two ran out. Professor Mike, I reckon there's no fire special ability user in the entire William family who can compare to Zheng Shuai. What do you think we should do? Prince William went straight to the point when there was no one else around. Professor Mike's face was solemn. Our plan is about to begin. We're lacking special ability users with strong attack power, and fire special ability users are the strongest attackers. Zheng Shuai's arrival is timely, but he's new here and we don't know much about him. If we send him to the research base now, it'll be troublesome if something happens. P.S. Recommend an urban novel, The Village Miracle Doctor, by A Song of Crimson Flame. Chapter 962. Prince William and Professor Mike had the same concerns. After a moment of silence, Prince William said, "Then I'll tell my father about Zheng Shuai and see what he thinks." Professor Mike nodded. That's for the best. You can propose to the Patriarch a plan to brainwash Zheng Shuai, just like how we brainwashed Alice. That way, we can completely control Zheng Shuai and don't have to worry about him betraying the William family. Prince William thought this was a good suggestion and immediately went to find his father, William Hagen. Professor Mike returned to the Arcana training base. Huh, you're back alone? Where are your brothers? Qin Feng pretended to be training in a fire tribute training room. When he saw Mike return, Qin Feng stopped what he was doing. He has something to do. Since you've joined the William family, don't stand on ceremony with us. Treat this place as your home in the future and tell us if you have any requests. Professor Mike said some superficial words. He was just stalling for time. Qin Feng pretended to be ignorant and said, "Okay, then I'll continue training. I found that your training ground here is very good." Qin Feng began to train hard again. Professor Mike stood by and watched. Seeing Qin Feng tirelessly training his fire attribute arcana, Professor Mike's worry gradually decreased. After training for more than half an hour, Prince William returned with a person following him. The man was a big man who was more than 8 meters tall. He wore a well-ironed military uniform and had a stern face. When he walked, he gave off a strong sense of majesty. Patriarch Hagen. When Professor Mike saw the man, he quickly went up and greeted him respectfully. William Hagen waved his hand, and his eyes fell on Qin Fun in the training room. Qin Fun had long noticed William Hagen's arrival, but he pretended not to know and continued to train his fire attribute arcana in the room. William Hagen stood outside the door to check Qin Fun's strength. Prince William and Professor Mike stood quietly behind him, one on the left and one on the right. After watching for a while, William Hagen said in a low voice, "This kid has reached the peak of a level 5 fire attribute arcana. Father, he is the Zheng Shuai I just mentioned to you. If he is experimentally modified, the chance of breaking through to level 6 will be very high. Patriarch, our plan is about to be implemented. If we have this guy's help, we can save a lot of trouble." The three of them communicated in English because Prince William thought that Zheng Shuai did not understand English. William Hagen stared at Qin Feng for a while, then nodded and said, "Take him to be brainwashed, then let him join the experimental group." Prince William and Professor Mike were waiting for these words. After making his decision, William Hagen turned around and walked out. Prince William and Professor Mike suppressed their excitement and ran to Qin Feng's training room. "Brother Zheng Shuai, take a break first." Prince William laughed. "Oh, Brother Prince, you're back. What did you do just now?" Qin Feng looked as if he had just realized that Prince William had come. "Hee, I want to report your situation to the other higher-ups of the family. After everyone understood your situation, they unanimously thought highly of you. Now, you can go to the experimental base." Qin Feng was slightly taken aback. He could go to the laboratory? So soon? Sure. Then lead the way. Qin Feng suppressed the excitement in his heart and said calmly. Prince William and Professor Mike were also very excited. The two of them quickly walked in front, and Qin Feng followed them. The three of them left the underground training base and walked around the Iron Tank Regiment. Qin Feng paid attention to the surrounding terrain and position. He felt that he had walked from the periphery of the military base to the core area. "Brother Zheng Shuai, it's just in front." After walking for almost half an hour, they finally arrived. The three of them walked into a castle, went down the stairs, and arrived at another huge underground experimental base. "Brother Prince, is this the experimental base?" Qin Feng asked as he looked around. This underground base was as spacious and huge as the training base. However, there were fewer people here, but the number of guards in the base was no less than the training base. "Brother Zheng Shuai, there's a signal jammer installed here. Your cell phone and some other communication tools will be blocked. Later, we'll be conducting the experiment. You can take out all your belongings. I'll make a special safe for you. You can take them when you come out." Prince William said a lot of things to prevent Qin Feng from divulging the secret of this base. Qin Feng readily took out his cell phone and some other items. His communication method was much more advanced. He could directly use the Heroes Alliance to shout. "Is this enough?" Qin Feng emptied his body of belongings. Okay, then let's go in." Prince William was already leading the way with a smile. Qin Feng walked in the middle, and Professor Mike deliberately slowed down and followed behind Qin Feng. The William family's vigilance was really high, but Qin Feng didn't care. He still found his way into the experimental base. The three of them walked through the hall. It turned out that there was a heavily guarded room at the end. When they saw Prince William and his people, the guard greeted them and opened the door. The inside of the room entered Qin Feng's vision. It was like a hospital. The whole room was filled with the smell of chemical reagents. The room was very big, and it was divided into many small rooms. The equipment and layout in each room were exactly the same. There was some simple medical equipment and a single bed. Some of the beds had people lying on them, and their bodies were full of test tubes and equipment wires. Qin Feng didn't know what they were doing. Qin Feng looked around along the way. Before he knew it, Prince William had already brought him into a separate room. "Brother Prince, are we going to start the experiment directly? What's the process like? Are you going to dissect me? I saw that some of the people in the rooms were full of tubes. Are you going to do that to me? Then I'll leave the William family." Qin Feng pretended to be nervous and afraid. Prince William and Professor Mike smiled amiably, trying to make Qin Feng lower his guard. Brother Zheng Shuai, you don't have to worry. Since you've joined the William family, you're our brother. We're family. Why would I do anything to harm you? Prince William continued. The people you saw are different from the experiment you're going to do. Your experiment is very simple, and we have professional professors and experts to help you complete the experiment. The success rate is 99%. 99% was already quite high, but it was a figure that Prince William had casually made up. They had yet to successfully cultivate a level 6 arcanist. Before that, countless innocent lives have been sacrificed. Only 99%? Isn't there still a 1% failure rate? What if I happen to fail? Am I going to die? Qin Feng looked like he was afraid of death. Prince William and Professor Mike's mouths twitched. The two's patience was about to run out, but Prince William still had to smile and pretend. Haha, Brother Zheng Shuai, your joke is really funny. How can your luck be so bad? It's impossible for you to fail. Just believe me. Then what are you going to do to me next? Qin Feng asked. You just need to lie on the bed. I'll find a professional to check your body's data. Then, we'll conduct a modification experiment for you. After the experiment is completed, you'll be a level 6 mutant. Don't worry, it'll be done in half an hour. Prince William's tone was gentle, and the smile on his face was almost stiff. He said all sorts of nice things to calm Qin Feng down, and Qin Feng gradually calmed down. All right, I'll believe you. Qin Feng was already lying on the bed. Professor Mike had already gone out, and now he brought in a few people in blue uniforms. Brother Zheng Shuai, these are the experts. Professor Mike and I will wait for you outside. It'll be over in half an hour. Prince William said a few more comforting words, then left with Professor Mike. A total of 3 workers came in. One was injecting medicine into Qin Feng. One was recording something in a notebook, and one was placing the tubes and wires on Qin Feng's body. Lil Pig, what did that guy just inject into me? Qin Feng asked telepathically. Master, the system is extracting medicine for testing. It costs 500 hedonist points. Quick test. Test complete. It's a strong anesthetic. Qin Feng immediately cursed inwardly. This Prince William was indeed a sly fox. He said it'd be over in half an hour, but this strong anesthetic would last for at least 12 hours. Complete as grandpa. Buy me medicine to neutralize the anesthetic, Qin Feng said. Master, you can use a strong anesthetic reliever. It costs 500 hedonist points each. I'll buy it. Qin Feng did not hesitate. He didn't want to be anesthetized for 12 hours. After the anesthetic was administered, the strong anesthetic reliever entered Qin Feng's body. The two medicines completely neutralized each other, and Qin Feng was completely fine. However, Qin Feng slowly closed his eyes. He had to continue pretending. If he was exposed now, all his previous efforts would go to waste. Not long after Qin Feng closed his eyes, the worker in charge of administering the anesthetic spoke in English. Experiment number 666 has been anesthetized. Qin Feng was slightly startled. Number 666 was most likely the code name of the subject. Did this mean that there were 665 subjects who had been tested? These people were probably already dead. Experiment number 660 SIXS vital signs are all normal. We can inject the brainwashing medicine now. Chapter 963. Qin Feng was extremely depressed. He had just bought a highly effective anesthetic reliever from the system, and this Yankee injected him with a brainwashing potion. What the hell is a brainwashing potion? Didn't that bastard Prince William say he would only check my body? This guy doesn't keep his word. Little Pig, extract the brainwashing potion and buy a reliever from the system. Master, extraction complete. The brainwashing potion is a potion that stimulates the nerves in the brain and turns the master into an idiot or loses his memory, Little Pig explained. Qin Feng immediately understood that Prince William and the others didn't trust him. They said they were here to check his body, but in reality, they wanted to brainwash him. Qin Feng couldn't help but think of Li Shan Shan. She must have been injected with the brainwashing potion when she was captured and brought to the William family. Then, she forgot all her memories. Master, the brainwashing potion doesn't work on your brain, so you don't need to buy a reliever, Little Pig added. Why doesn't it work? Qin Feng was puzzled. Because master spiritual power is much higher than an ordinary person's, and the system protects master's brain. This kind of ordinary brainwashing potion is like water entering master's brain. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He really wanted to enter the system and strangle Little Pig. Qin Feng understood what Little Pig meant. He could ignore the brainwashing potion. However, this stupid pig's explanation made Qin Feng speechless. You're the one with water in your brain. Qin Feng was relieved to know that he would be fine. After the 3 staff members injected the brainwashing potion, they all left. Prince William and Professor Mike followed them in. They stood by Qin Feng's bed and looked at him for a while with wretched smiles on their faces. Qin Feng didn't want to see their cunning expressions. He was afraid that they would rush up and kill them if they became agitated. Qin Feng began to communicate with Li Xingtian through telepathy. Seniorly, are you there? I'm here. Li Xingtian had recently become familiar with the Hero Alliance's communication function, so he replied very quickly. Qin Feng, have you arrived in China? Go look for Shan Shan when you have time and ask her to join the Hero Alliance. I want to talk to her. Li Xingtian's voice was a little heavy, and Qin Feng immediately heard the problem. Seniorly, why are you in such a hurry to talk to Shan Shan? When I get you out, you'll be able to see her. Li Xingtian laughed bitterly. I'm afraid I can't wait any longer. The William family's level 6 ability user is expected to be nurtured the day after tomorrow. I'm determined not to let such a thing that endangers society appear. I plan to destroy the test subject tomorrow night. Regardless of whether I succeed or not, I'll definitely die. Qin Feng stared blankly for a moment. He was moved by Li Xingtian's spirit of sacrifice. Seniorly, don't act recklessly. I've already snuck into the research base, Qin Feng hurriedly said. It was Li Xingtian's turn to be shocked. What? You're at the research base? Didn't I tell you to go back to China? Why are you so disobedient? Do you still want me to recognize you as my son-in-law? Li Xingtian was suddenly enraged and lashed out at Qin Feng. Qin Feng was speechless and said, Let's not argue about these things right now. Tell me the environment of the research base first, and I'll see if I'm in the research base. Li Xingtian was silent for a moment, then suddenly sighed. Sigh, I really didn't misjudge you. Good boy, you're a good boy. The research base is very big, and it's divided into many small rooms. The rooms are used for various experiments. Each room has the same necessary equipment, and there are also beds. Li Xingtian gave a simple explanation. Qin Feng was overjoyed. He was sure that he was in the research base. Seniorly, I'm being experimented on in the research base. How can I find you? Qin Feng was a little excited. Li Xingtian's voice suddenly rose a few decibels. You're doing experiments? You can't be that new idiot, right? No. That idiot is a level 5 fire ability user, but you're not either. Li Xingtian seemed to be talking to himself, but Qin Feng felt as if his heart had been stabbed twice. Seniorly, the person you're talking about is me. Li Xingtian screamed in Qin Feng's mind for a long time. Fortunately, the two of them were communicating telepathically. Otherwise, Li Xingtian would have been exposed. Fuck, that idiot is really you? Seniorly, I'm your future son-in-law. Can you not call me an idiot? Qin Feng was very angry. Ahem, I didn't come up with this nickname. It was Prince William. He came to me just now and said that there's a new person, a level 5 fire ability user. After the brainwashing, you want me to do a breakthrough experiment for you. Li Xingtian suddenly screamed halfway. It's over. Hurry and run. They're doing a brainwashing experiment on you, not a physical examination. Qin Feng had the urge to cut off Li Xingtian's signal. This old man's screams were even more ear-piercing than those women's. Seniorly, stop screaming. I already knew that this is a brainwashing experiment, but I have a way to not be brainwashed. Otherwise, would I still be talking to you now? That's right. It seems that you're not an idiot. The William family is the idiot. Li Xingtian suddenly realized. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Nonsense. Of course, I'm not an idiot. This is bad. Even if you're not brainwashed, there's no way you can save me. This is the base of the Iron Tank Core, and it's heavily guarded. There are also hundreds of ability users. Hurry up and think of a way to escape. Li Xingtian started to scream anxiously again. Qin Feng had enough of this old man and cut off the communication. Prince William and Professor Mike stayed in the room for a while and then left. Qin Feng was left alone in the room. No one cared about him. Qin Feng thought that he would be brought to see Li Xingtian after the brainwashing experiment was over. Qin Feng entered his mind into the system and prepared to forge some talismans and magic tools for Li Xingtian. Otherwise, Li Xingtian would be in great danger if a fight broke out. Qin Feng first entered the forging interface. He could forge various quality spiritual tools. Qin Feng's purple thunder wild robe was forged in this interface. Magic tools were a grade lower than spiritual tools, so it was easier to forge them. Qin Feng still had a lot of materials in the Emerald Spirit Ring. He randomly picked a few and forged 5 defensive magic tools in a few minutes. After forging the magic tools, Qin Feng entered the Talisman Palace. The Talisman Palace was a place that specialized in making talismans. Only true Qi experts could make talismans. Inner Qi experts could also make talismans, but they needed spirit stones as the energy for making talismans. Qin Feng did not lack spirit stones. He took out 2 low-grade spirit stones from the Emerald Spirit Ring and spent a few hours making hundreds of fireball talismans. After he was done, Qin Feng exited the system. The laboratory was located in the basement. He had no idea whether it was day or night outside. Qin Feng also did not know how long he had been lying on the bed. He could only wait for Prince William and Professor Mike to find him. In a flash, another few hours had passed. The door of the laboratory was pushed open. Prince William and Professor Mike had changed their clothes. This meant that 1 day and 1 night had passed. This brat still hasn't woken up. Prince William did not need to pretend anymore. He spoke coldly and looked at Qin Feng with an unfriendly gaze. Don't worry. The strong anesthetic will last for 16 hours. I estimate that he will wake up in an hour, Professor Mike said as he looked at his watch. Both of them spoke in English, but Qin Feng could completely understand them now. Knowing that he would wake up in an hour, Qin Feng simply went to the system to take a look. Where's this? Why am I sleeping here? After an hour had passed, Qin Feng sat up from the bed in a daze. Prince William and Professor Mike had been staying in the room. When he saw Qin Feng woke up, Prince William immediately ran over and said, Brother Zheng Shuai, you're awake. I'm Prince William. Prince William greeted Qin Feng enthusiastically. Qin Feng thought to himself that this guy was indeed cunning. He was obviously brainwashed, yet he still asked such a question. It was obvious that he was investigating him. What fraud prince? I don't know you. Qin Feng had just finished filming the movie Hedonist Sovereign, so acting was a piece of cake for him. The corner of Prince William's mouth twitched. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. However, he still maintained his smile and said, You really don't know me? Then look at him. He is Professor Mike. Qin Feng looked at Professor Mike with confusion in his eyes. Who is this grandpa? I don't know him either. Why did you bring me here? I want to call the police. Qin Feng began to struggle. Professor Mike was about to faint from anger when he was called Grandpa. Prince William and Professor Mike secretly looked at each other. Both of them nodded. They were very satisfied with the effect of the brainwashing. Brother Zheng Shuai, don't worry. We are all your friends. Come with us to a place where your family is. Prince William's ability to deceive people was very strong. Qin Feng followed along and said, We're my family. Quickly take me there. Prince William and Professor Mike walked one after the other, with Qin Feng walking between them. This underground laboratory was indeed very big. Prince William walked around for a while and arrived at a deeper space. The layout here had changed again. There were more instruments and equipment, some of which Qin Feng had never seen before. We're my family. You're not lying to me, are you? Qin Feng followed the two of them into a small sealed room. A gray-haired old man walked out. Brother Zheng Shuai, this is your family, Prince William said as he pointed at the old man. Qin Feng was stunned for a moment. Wasn't this old man Li Xingtian? It had only been a few months since they parted at Provincial University, but Li Xingtian had aged a lot. It felt like they hadn't seen him for more than 10 years. Li Xingtian knew Zhang Shuai's identity. When he saw Qin Feng barging into the William family's base without any regard for the difficulties and dangers in order to save him, and even changing his face, Li Xingtian was so moved that his body trembled. His eyes brimmed with tears as he rushed to Qin Feng's side. Chapter 964. Qin Feng's cataracts were about to fall out. Li Xingtian, that old fart, was taking advantage of him. Prince William and Professor Mike were also stunned. Actually, the two of them often brainwashed metahumans and lied to them that they were going to look for their relatives. Then, they would let Li Xingtian pretend to be their relative. Li Xingtian had often acted in the past, but this time, Prince William and Professor Mike thought that he had acted the best. If the two of them didn't know Zhang Shuai's identity, they would have thought that Zhang Shuai was Li Xingtian's son. Hey, what's wrong with you, old man? Who's your son? Don't be crazy, okay? Qin Feng pushed Li Xingtian away. He had lost his memory, so logically speaking, he should not even recognize his father. Li Xingtian looked at Zhang Shuai with a pained expression. Prince William and Professor Mike regained their senses and quickly came to mediate. Brother Zhang Shuai, how can you say such unfilial words? He's your biological father. Senior Li, don't be sad. Zhang Shuai seems to have lost his memory. Why don't you talk to him alone for a while, and then do Zhang Shuai's experiment? Professor Mike gave Li Xingtian a look, and Li Xingtian nodded. Is he really my father? Qin Feng pretended to be at a loss. Of course he is. Brother Zhang Shuai, have a good talk with Senior Li. He will tell you some things, and you will slowly remember them. Prince William patted Qin Feng's shoulder and left with Professor Mike. Only Qin Feng and Li Xingtian were left in the room. Before Qin Feng could speak, Li Xingtian said through the Heroes Alliance, "Don't talk nonsense. There are surveillance cameras and bugs in the room." After Prince William and Professor Mike left, they turned around and walked into the room next door. There was an LCD television in the room, and it clearly showed Qin Feng's situation. There was also sound coming from the television, and the effect was like watching a television program. Are you really my father, old man? Qin Feng looked at Li Xingtian doubtfully. Son, don't ask such a silly question. You look so much like me, so of course I'm your father. Li Xingtian regretted it immediately. Qin Feng was really ugly now. Qin Feng stared at Li Xingtian's face for a while, then said seriously, according to what you said, you really are my father. Prince William and Professor Mike laughed in the room next door. The corners of Li Xingtian's mouth twitched violently. He pointed to the bed on the side and said, Go lie on the bed. I'll tell you what happened before. Qin Feng got onto the bed. In order to put on an act for Prince William and the Crown Prince, Li Xingtian took out some medical equipment and started to examine Qin Feng. The two of them would converse from time to time, but the conversations in their minds were much richer. You brat, you really came. You want to ascend to the heavens. Li Xingtian had found out last night that Qin Feng had snuck into the laboratory, but seeing Qin Feng now, Li Xingtian was still filled with shock and gratitude. Senior Li, how long will my experiment take? Qin Feng asked. Under normal circumstances, it would take 24 hours. That's more than enough time. Continue acting. I'll contact my reinforcements. According to what Li Xingtian said, the William family's rank 6 ability users would be nurtured by tonight. Qin Feng had to destroy this research base before tonight. Qin Feng had already contacted Yan Wushuang. Team Leader Yan, I've infiltrated the William family's experimental base. Really? Can you send me your location? Yan Wushuang's pleasantly surprised voice rang in Qin Feng's mind. Qin Feng spent 1,000 Hedonist points and used the Hedonist sovereign system to send the exact location of a laboratory to Yan Wushuang. The location is so precise. How did you do it? Wait a moment. I'll report it to the Dragon Sect now. Yan Wushuang was so excited that she went to contact the Dragon Sect. Soon, Yan Wushuang's voice rang in Qin Feng's mind again. Qin Feng, the Dragon Sect has received the location information and sent it to the person in charge in America. America has already replied to the Dragon Sect, saying that they will send the elites of the Blood Descendants to support us. The operation will start at 8 p.m. In America time, seeing that everything was going smoothly, Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. He chatted with Yin Wuxuang for a while longer and then disconnected. Seniorly, I'll help you escape at 8 p.m. tonight, Qin Feng said to Li Xingtian through telepathy. Li Xingtian's hand that was injecting Qin Feng with the potion trembled. What? Escape at 8 p.m. tonight? Both of us won't be able to escape. Of course, it's not just the two of us. The American government has already learned of the William family's plan. They will send reinforcements tonight. I'll leave some magic tools and fireball charms for you later. Remember to keep the magic tools with you at all times. Li Xingtian was stunned. It turned out that the American government had already learned of the William family's plan. Li Xingtian, who had been in a state of despair, finally saw a glimmer of hope. He wanted to lift Qin Feng's face and kiss him on the forehead. However, when he thought that the William family must be monitoring him, Li Xingtian quickly dismissed the idea. Fortunately, he dismissed the idea. Otherwise, Qin Feng would have smacked him to death. Li Xingtian pretended to be conducting experiments on Qin Feng. However, he had replaced some of the potions he used with glucose. Qin Feng had been drinking sugar water for the whole afternoon, and he felt sick. Qin Feng's flame was the myriad beast true fire, and he was not a fire ability user. Otherwise, Li Xingtian would really want to transform Qin Feng's body and help him break through to the realm of a level 6 fire ability user. The two of them put on an act in the laboratory for the whole afternoon. Prince William and Professor Mike, who were in the room next door, watched for the whole afternoon. They didn't see any clues and thought that Li Xingtian was really modifying Qin Feng's body. Prince William's phone rang. He answered the call. Prince William didn't say anything. He just listened to the voice on the phone. As he listened, Prince William's expression gradually turned cold, and his brows furrowed. What happened? Professor Mike asked as soon as Prince William hung up the phone. Something big happened. Let's go find my father now. Prince William didn't say what exactly happened. He opened the door and ran out. Professor Mike's face was full of solemnity. He knew that something serious and urgent must have happened. Prince William and Professor Mike ran away. They didn't even have the mood to continue supervising Li Xingtian's experiment. However, Qin Feng and Li Xingtian were still acting. They didn't know what happened in the room next door. Master, it's already 7:30 a.m. There was no sense of day or night in the laboratory. There was no clock in sight. All the items of the staff and experimenters were taken away. Therefore, Qin Feng specially reminded Little Pig to record the time before he came in. Seniorly, it's 7:30 a.m. now. We'll act in half an hour, Qin Feng said to Li Xingtian telepathically. Li Xingtian's hand trembled again. 3 big bumps appeared on Qin Feng's arm. Qin Feng didn't kick Li Xingtian to death because Li Xingtian was his future father-in-law. I'm a little nervous. Who are the reinforcements he called? Li Xingtian's voice was trembling. Seniorly, don't worry. The U.S. has sent a large group of vampires to help us. We'll be fine. Qin Feng would have been fine if he hadn't said anything. Once he spoke, Li Xingtian was so shocked that he almost fell off his chair. What? Vampires? Why would the U.S. send vampires? Don't tell me they're going to eat us? Li Xingtian didn't know much about vampires. His reaction was the same as Qin Feng's when he first heard about the Blood Clan's cooperation. Qin Feng patiently explained the true nature of the Blood Clan to Li Xingtian. Li Xingtian finally calmed down. Time flew by. Half an hour passed in the blink of an eye. Little Pig had already reminded Qin Feng in his mind. Qin Feng immediately threw the 5 defensive magic tools to Li Xingtian. At the same time, he stuffed a large pile of yellow paper talismans into Li Xingtian's pocket. Hurry up and put on the magic tools. We're going to act. Qin Feng pulled out all the needles and instruments from his body. Li Xingtian frantically put on the defensive magic tools such as necklaces, bracelets, and rings. Then, he touched the yellow paper talismans in his pocket and almost fell. Qin Feng, why did you give me a pile of yellow paper talismans? Are you burning paper money for me in advance? Qin Feng ran to the door. His eyes rolled back and he almost fainted from anger. He pulled Li Xingtian out of the room. As soon as the two of them came out, a loud noise came from outside. Rumble, rumble. The loud noise did not stop once. It sounded like thunder. The entire laboratory shook slightly. Many of the staff members and ability users who were doing experiments rushed out. Everyone stood in the hall and looked at each other in confusion. No one knew what was going on here. Brother Qin Feng, where are you? The loud noise gradually subsided. A group of people rushed in from the entrance of the laboratory. This group of people was dressed in black, tight-fitting leather clothes and black leather boots. The cloaks on their shoulders were black on the outside but blood red on the inside. Oh no, we've been discovered. Quick, hide. Li Xingtian was frightened by this group of people. He pulled Qin Feng to hide. Qin Feng was so angry that he almost kicked Li Xingtian away. He pulled Li Xingtian and shouted at the door, "Brother Dracula, over here." The people who came were the Blood Clan, led by Prince Dracula. Qin Feng glanced at them and found that there were only about 30 of them. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as Qin Feng's voice fell, the air above the laboratory was filled with black shadows. The 30 or so members of the Blood Clan flew into the air and leaped from the top of the wall. Their movements were extremely fast, and their mouths emitted ear-piercing, hissing sounds. Their movements were like giant bats, and within a few breaths, they had landed around Qin Feng and Li Xingtian. Where is the laboratory for the level 6 mutants? Chapter 965. Qin Feng did not dare to waste any more time. This was the base of the Iron Tank Corps, and there were hundreds of metahumans trained by the William family. If they waited until they came to their senses, none of them would be able to escape. Senior Li, bring us to the experimental base of the rank 6 metahumans. Qin Feng looked at Li Xingtian. Oh, everyone come with me. Li Xingtian was stunned for a moment before he came to his senses. The nervous and fearful look on his face had disappeared. Li Xingtian was also against the experiment of training rank 6 metahumans. Rebellion. Li Xingtian has brought people to rebel. Fuck. How dare you cause trouble in the William family's base? Go to hell. Quick, inform Patriarch Hagen and get the army to kill these people. The huge experimental base was in an uproar. Many of the staff members were members of the William family. They quickly began to flee. Some even took out their phones to inform the William family. The rest were the metahumans trained by the William family, and there were about 30 of them. These metahumans reacted quickly and attacked Qin Feng and the others. Rumble, rumble. In an instant, flames and ice appeared in the air above the research base. It was as if a rain of fire was raining down from the sky. Li Xingtian conducted experiments for metahumans every day, but this was the first time he fought against a metahuman. Seeing this spectacular scene, Li Xingtian was stunned. You guys guard this place. Brother Qin Feng, the 3 of us will go in. Count reacted quickly and rushed forward while pulling Qin Feng and Li Xingtian. The 30 or so bloodbreeds behind them let out ear-piercing screeches. Suddenly, streaks of black shadows appeared in midair. They flew back and forth like bats. The flames and ice were blocked by the bloodbreeds, and Qin Feng and the other 2 quickly ran inside. So, it's the bloodbreeds. You bunch of half-human, half-ghosts. Go to hell. A rank 4 fire metahuman swung his fist, and his entire right arm was set ablaze. Count was about to exchange blows with him, but when he saw the dazzling flame, he quickly retreated in fear. Rumble, Laming and Tiger Roar leaped over him, and Qin Feng threw a punch at the level 4 fire ability user. The fire ability user was sent flying into the solid steel wall, unable to climb out. Senior Li, lead the way. If you encounter any enemies, use the Fireball Talisman to smash them. Qin Feng's expression was ice cold. A blue sword appeared in his hand, and he tossed the Heaven Splitter axe to Count. Qin Feng wielded a long sword, while Dracula wielded a pair of battle axes. The 2 of them followed behind Li Xingtian, killing the metahumans that came after him. Buzz! The long sword slashed across, and sword rays shot out in all directions. The power of the 9 strategies beyond the swords was not to be underestimated. Every sword move was extremely simple, but it carried an earth-shattering momentum. Count liked the pair of battle axes that Qin Fan had given him. The Sky Splitter axe displayed great power in his hands. Count had extraordinary strength, and every time the 2 axes fell, they would pierce through the air. Whenever they landed on an ability user, they would be directly smashed into meat paste. With Qin Fan and Dracula at the rear, they advanced very quickly. Li Xingtian suddenly screamed, "It's over! There are 2 ability users in front." Qin Fan swung his sword and pierced 3 ability users behind him while shouting, "Throw the fireball talismans in your hands." Only then did Li Xingtian remember that he had more than 100 yellow paper talismans. He grabbed a handful and threw them at the 2 ability users in front of him. The fireball talisman fell and really hit the 2 of them, startling the 2 American ability users. But after waiting for a few seconds, nothing happened at all. The 2 ability users were so angry that they punched at Li Xingtian. "Fuck! Son-in-law, don't be such a scammer. Are these yellow paper talismans really for me to burn?" Li Xingtian shouted. Qin Fan suddenly remembered something and quickly shouted, "Father-in-law, if you throw them again, I'll chant the incantation. Feng Feng is so handsome." After the battle at the Amethyst Dragon Palace, Qin Fan went to Jindu City and started selling talismans at Yulin Street. At that time, Qin Fan had set up a slogan for his talismans. The slogan had never changed. Feng Feng is so handsome. Dracula, who was in the middle of a fight, suddenly froze. Then, he glared at Qin Fan with a strange expression. Li Xingtian suppressed the urge to vomit and threw another stack of fireball talismans. Feng Feng is so handsome. Rumble, rumble. Dozens of fireball talismans exploded and turned into dozens of balls of fire. The 2 ability users didn't even have time to react before they were engulfed by the fire. They wailed and howled in pain. Swoosh! Qin Fan clapped his hands, and 2 white lights flashed. The 2 people who were screaming miserably in the flames immediately fell to the ground, completely silent. "Senior Li, how much further? Time is of the essence." The grim expression on Qin Fan and Dracula's faces never dissipated. The mission this time was too difficult. Even if Qin Fan was at the early stage of Stage 9 Inner Qi, he and the Blood Clan of the United States were working together. Li Xingtian also realized the urgency of the situation. He grabbed a handful of fireball talismans and rushed forward. Whenever someone tried to stop him, Li Xingtian would throw a stack of fireball talismans at them without hesitation. The 3 of them increased their speed. After running for about 5 minutes, they finally arrived at the base of the Rank 6 ability user's laboratory. "We're here." Li Xingtian stopped abruptly and shouted anxiously, "There's a passcode door here. How do we get in?" Qin Fan and Dracula killed many ability users along the way. The remaining ability users were trapped outside by the Blood Clan members. Qin Fan and Dracula turned around and saw a huge door that led to the top. They didn't know what material the door was made of, but it looked extremely hard. There were 8 guards guarding the door. When they saw Qin Fan and Dracula, they realized something was wrong. "Professor Li, why are you here? Who are those 2? Li Xingtian was so anxious that he was sweating profusely. Without saying anything, he threw the remaining 50 or so fireball talismans in his hand. Feng Feng is so handsome. Rumble. More than 50 fireballs exploded in an instant, and the basement was illuminated as if it was daytime. Dracula seemed to be a little afraid of the light, and quickly covered his head with his cloak. 6 of the 8 guards at the door died in an instant. Li Xingtian ran out of fireball talismans and quickly returned to Qin Fan's side. "My good son-in-law, give your father-in-law some more yellow paper talismans. These things are really fucking powerful." Qin Fan glanced at Li Xingtian's pocket and found that the old man had really used up more than 100 fireball talismans. It took Qin Fan several hours to make them. Qin Fan was so angry that he wanted to kick someone again. "My dear father-in-law, those fireball talismans are all treasures. Do you think I bought them with a dime each? I've given them all to you. I don't have any left." Qin Fan grumbled a few words, and his expression suddenly became serious. Before the two superhumans could pounce on him, Qin Fen raised the Chongling sword in his hand into the air. The bodies of the two superhumans suddenly froze, and a moment later, they directly exploded. Li Xingtian was frightened by this bloody scene and screamed. Qin Fen and Dracula were already used to this. The two of them walked to the door with cold faces. After fumbling with the password on the door for a while, Qin Fen and Dracula couldn't open the door. Qin Fen jumped and landed more than 10 meters away from the door. He shouted at Dracula, "You retreat first. I'll split the door open." Dracula was very fast and landed behind Qin Fen in the blink of an eye. The Chongling sword in Qin Fen's hand had already slashed down. A condensed blue sword energy surged out as if it was going to pierce the sky. Rumble, rumble. Loud noises sounded everywhere. The entire underground laboratory shook violently. Some gravel and ceiling fell from above, and many chandeliers directly smashed down. But in the next second, Qin Fen and the other two were stunned. The door in front of them didn't split open. Only a small scratch was left on it. If they didn't look carefully, they would even ignore it. "Let me try." Dracula roared and rushed forward with his sky splitter axe. Dracula didn't have inner chi. He directly jumped to the front of the door. The battle axe in his hand fell down violently. With the force of the forward rush, there was an unstoppable momentum. Rumble. There was another loud noise. Even the two walls next to them cracked with arm-thick cracks. But the door in front of them still didn't crack open. Another scratch was left on it. Qin Fen was angry. It had been 15 minutes since they started the operation. This time, the original plan was to destroy the experimental base in half an hour. At the same time, everyone had to escape from the base of the Iron Tank Core. At this speed, it was obvious that they would exceed the time limit. And the longer they delayed, the lower the success rate of the mission. Everyone, retreat further. Unknowingly, a domineering purple battle robe appeared on Qin Fen's body. His battle robe and cloak flapped in the wind. The silver armor was flowing with purple electric light. The electric light became brighter and brighter, as if forming a ball of purple lightning. Rumble. A muffled thunder rang out. A ball of ring-shaped purple lightning struck down from the sky, startling Li Xingtian and Dracula. Crackle, crackle. The door, which was made of an unknown material, emitted a loud noise like frying beans. The knife marks left by Qin Fen and Count were slowly cracking. The cracks grew larger and larger, and finally, the entire door was covered in cracks, which were as dense as a spider web. Rumble. There was another muffled sound. Qin Fen's second lightning struck. This time, the door at the top of the passage exploded. The bottom half of the door collapsed with a loud bang. The door panels above turned into fragments and flew everywhere. Some were directly inserted into the wall, while others fell to the ground and smashed dozens of deep pits. "Oh my God, son-in-law, you can also attract lightning? Where the hell did this monster come from?" Li Xingtian was stunned. Thinking that his daughter had followed such a powerful man like Qin Fen, Li Xingtian immediately felt relieved. Even Dracula was shocked. He had seen Qin Fen use the fire ability before. Now, Qin Fen used the lightning ability. This was a rare talent. Let's not talk about this first. Let's go in and destroy this base. Qin Fen didn't waste any time. He leaped and rushed into the laboratory first. Because the door had just collapsed, it set off a cloud of dust. The situation inside the laboratory couldn't be seen at all. Qin Fen had just entered, and in the next second, he jumped out again. "Oh no, it's an ambush." Chapter 966. Li Xingtian and Count followed behind Qin Fen. Before they could figure out what was going on, Qin Fen pounced on them and knocked them to the ground. Thud, 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 thud. A series of gunshots rang out. Judging from the sound, it should be the sound of a machine gun. The wall outside was riddled with holes, and the ceiling was riddled with hundreds of small holes. Rubble flew in all directions, and the room was filled with sparks. Qin Fen pulled Li Xingtian and Count to a corner. In front of the three of them was a layer of ice wall. As soon as the ice wall was shattered by the bullets, it was replaced by a new layer of ice. Li Xingtian and Count were still in a state of shock, especially Count. He was so shocked that he couldn't utter a word as he stared at the layers of magnificent, deep blue walls of ice. Qin Fun is incredible. He's a triple elemental paranormal. Brother Count, I can't hold on any longer. Find a chance to strike. There were probably more than a dozen machine guns shooting at him. The bullets were like they were free, forming a dense rain of bullets. Under such a strong attack, Qin Feng felt that the inner qi in his body couldn't keep up, and he couldn't activate extreme ice any longer. Damn it, there's a mole. Count quickly regained his senses. His mind worked quickly, and he found the root of the problem. However, the current situation was critical, and it wasn't the time to discuss who the mole was. Count looked at the situation outside and saw 8 machine guns set up at the entrance of the laboratory. The flashing sparks almost blinded Count's eyes. Boom! Several fireballs fell from the sky. Qin Feng yelled, "Go!" The extreme ice wall in front of him had disappeared. Qin Feng couldn't withstand the barrage of 8 machine guns, so he took the lead and dashed forward. Count's reaction was faster. He leaped to the top of the wall and transformed into a bat. Although he moved backward, he reached the entrance before Qin Feng. Thud, thud, thud. Thud, thud, thud. The machine guns were still firing fiercely. Dozens of bullets hit Li Xingtian, but they didn't penetrate his body. Suddenly, blue halos bloomed on Li Xingtian's body. Following that, the defensive necklace on Li Xingtian's neck dimmed and turned into a pile of powder that scattered with the wind. Roar! You traitors, go to hell! Dracula didn't know what provoked him, but as soon as he landed, he went berserk. This guy was too powerful when he was angry, and even Qin Feng didn't dare to get close to him. Bang, 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 bang. In just a breath's time, Dracula had sent all the soldiers in front of the 4 machine guns flying. His strength was boundless, and he had directly smashed the 4 of them into meat paste. Xiao, xiao, xiao. Qin Feng waved his hand, and with a flash of white light, he slit the throats of the other 4 soldiers. Qin Feng stopped in front of the door, while Count charged in like a wild bull. In front of them was a wall of ice that separated the room into 2 sides. Qin Feng and Count were completely blocked on the outside. Bang, 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 bang. Dracula desperately hammered the ice wall with his sky splitter axe. His eyes were bloodshot. Qin Feng didn't know why Dracula suddenly became so angry. Could it be that he wanted to drink human blood? At this time, a series of footsteps came from outside. It was the members of the Blood Clan rushing over. There were originally more than 30 vampires, but now there were only about 20 left. Prince Dracula. One of the vampires asked for Dracula's instructions. Dracula roared angrily, "Smash! Smash through this ice wall for me." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, more than 20 black shadows flew under the ice wall, and all of them used their fists to hit the ice wall. The wall was broken layer by layer, but in an instant, a new layer of ice appeared to fill the gap. Qin Feng didn't even need to think to know that there were probably dozens of ice-type mutants standing on the other side. Ha! Prince Dracula, you don't have to waste your energy. You won't be able to break through this ice wall. The William family's level 6 Arcanists have entered the final stage. In 10 minutes, the level 6 Arcanists will be born. By then, the world will belong to the William family. Suddenly, a burst of laughter came from the other side of the ice wall. It was Prince William's voice. Prince William, stop your wishful thinking. With me, Qin Feng, here, I can destroy your base in minutes. Qin Feng roared as he swung his sword. Oomph! You brat, you're even more cunning than a fox. One moment, you used Xiao Feng's identity, and the next moment, you used Zheng Shuai's identity. But all of this is useless. If you can infiltrate the William family's base, then naturally, our William family also has a spy on your team. Didn't your plan get exposed tonight? Ha ha ha. Prince William laughed maniacally. He had arranged for 30 ice-type mutants to guard the ice wall. He didn't believe that Qin Feng's team could break through this defense. As long as they could hold on for 10 minutes, the level 6 mutants would appear. At that time, the William family wouldn't even be afraid of the United States, let alone Qin Feng and the vampires. Qin Feng was stunned. There really was a mole. Qin Feng didn't think there was a mole on his side. Only he, the dragon sect, and Li Xingtian knew about this operation. Obviously, the dragon sect was not a mole. So how could Li Xingtian be a mole? Qin Feng's mind raced. Suddenly, Dracula roared, "Brother Qin Feng, I'm sorry. The mole is General Bai Yangda, who is in charge of the Blood Clan's operation." When Dracula rushed to the door, he saw General Bai Yangda standing among the enemy's troops. It was also because of this reason that Dracula suddenly went crazy. Dracula didn't expect the mole to be his commander. Not only Dracula, but the remaining 20 or so Blood Clan members were also stunned. Let's not talk about this. Let's work together and destroy this research base, even if it costs us our lives. Qin Feng didn't complain. No one wanted to see the situation develop to this stage. Dracula didn't know that General Bai Yangda had betrayed the nation. He was actually a chess piece in this battle between the higher-ups. Roar! Brooke elites, it's time for you to atone for your sins. Attack! Dracula looked at Qin Feng gratefully. Then, he started to pound on the ice wall again. Everyone tried their best to break the ice wall, but there were 30 or so mutants taking turns to repair the ice wall. They couldn't break it in a short time. Master, the flaming golden eagle wants to fight. Little Pig's anxious voice sounded. Qin Feng was stunned. What's the use of releasing the flaming golden eagle? Master, the flaming golden eagle's hidden skill, Gale Flame, has been awakened. You can release it to try. Qin Feng had fused 4 battle pets. Flaming golden eagle, glacial snow mastiff, Pikachu, and black tortoise. The black tortoise was undoubtedly powerful. After awakening its hidden skill, Tsunami Roar, it became the overlord of the sea. The glacial snow mastiff and the flaming golden eagle's normal skills were Frost Spike and Death Flame respectively. These 2 battle pets also had awakened skills. The glacial snow mastiff's awakened skill was Fury, but it hadn't awakened yet. The flaming golden eagle's awakened skill was Gale Flame, but Little Pig said it had awakened. Screech! Qin Feng commanded the flaming golden eagle to descend from the sky. Its huge body filled half of the room. The flaming golden eagle screeched excitedly. This stupid bird never learned to keep a low profile. Li Xingtian, Dracula, and the others were so shocked that they forgot to smash the ice wall. Everyone, be careful. This is probably a monster raised by the William family. Let's kill it together. Dracula reacted quickly and punched the flaming golden eagle's head. The flaming golden eagle's eyes were burning with anger. It looked like it was going to fight. Qin Feng's mouth twitched, and he quickly shouted, "Don't fight. This is my pet." Time seemed to stop for a few seconds. Everyone was stunned and looked at the flaming golden eagle as if they had dementia. How could this be called a pet? Dracula immediately retracted his fist and landed beside Qin Feng. "Brother Qin Feng, what's going on?" Everyone was confused by the flaming golden eagle's appearance. Qin Feng didn't have time to explain how the flaming golden eagle appeared. Although everyone was curious, no one was in the mood to ask at such a critical moment. "Everyone, move aside. Let my little pet smash the wall." Everyone's mouth twitched, and they quickly retreated behind the flaming golden eagle. The flaming golden eagle was a little dissatisfied with Dracula and even glared at him. Chapter 967. Dracula and the rest were stunned. Even Qin Feng was shocked. It was also Qin Feng's first time witnessing the flaming golden eagle's awakening skill. This Gale Flame skill was so powerful that it instantly created a hole in the upper layer of the ice wall. However, the flaming golden eagle was just the beginning. It flapped its wings violently and shot out balls of fire from its wings. The golden eagle's mouth was still wide open, and fireballs kept shooting out from its mouth. 3 balls of fire flew out fiercely. They were as fast as lightning under the gale. The power of the flames also increased by more than 10 times under the gale. It felt like it was almost as powerful as Qin Fun's destructive flame. Rumble, rumble. Loud noises rang out continuously, and the sound of the flames whistling in the gale could be heard. Dracula and the rest were already dumbfounded. These people were rare blood breeds on Earth, and they also had their own unique abilities. However, after meeting Qin Fun today, Dracula and the rest felt that Qin Fun was the real monster. Such a powerful, strange bird, and Qin Fun was keeping it as a pet. Crack, crack, crack. Cracks as dense as a web appeared on the ice wall, followed by a series of subtle, crisp sounds. Rumble. The entire ice wall suddenly exploded, and more than 30 ice mutants standing behind the wall fell to the ground. Many of them were directly burned by the fireballs, and some suffered internal injuries and vomited blood. Brothers, charge! Qin Fun took the lead and rushed in the instant the ice wall exploded. Dracula and more than 20 blood breeds came to their senses. They turned into black shadows and covered the entire wall in a breath's time. Prince William and General Bayongda were dumbfounded. They didn't expect the ice wall to break. Both of them looked at the strange bird with its mouth wide open, and they were so scared that they couldn't speak. A row of soldiers carrying machine guns squatted in the room. These people were also stunned and momentarily forgot to shoot with their machine guns. Swish, 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 swish. Several white lights flashed, and 7 or 8 soldiers fell to the ground. Dracula landed in the middle of the crowd. He had been suppressing his anger for a long time. The sky splitter in his hand continuously chopped at the group of mutants. Swish, swish. The remaining 20 or so members of the Blood Clan also began to move. These people were like bats, extremely fast and extraordinarily powerful. In what seemed like a few breaths of time, a large number of people from the William family were lying on the ground. Stop them! Hurry! Hurry up and stop them! General Bayongda came back to his senses and screamed. Prince William pulled General Bayongda and retreated to the back. The soldiers and metahumans regained their senses and ran to the front to fight. Fight! Give me a good beating. As long as you can hold on for another 2 minutes, a level 6 mutant will be born. Prince William's face turned sinister as he looked at the corpses on the ground. Ta-ta-ta-ta. The soldier on the ground woke up and grabbed his machine gun and started firing wildly. More than a dozen machine guns were aimed at the flaming golden eagle outside the door, and the bullets were like raindrops in an instant. The golden eagle's eyes were spitting fire. It was obvious that it was angered by these people. It opened its mouth and shot out a ball of flame. Rumble. The fireball was so huge that it covered half the space. When the bullets came into contact with the flames, they immediately melted into mist, completely losing the ability to attack. Fire, fire. Save me. I'm burning. Save me. What kind of monster is this? Let's run. Let's run for our lives. The ball of flame completely disrupted the soldiers' formation. No one dared to lie on the ground and shoot. The dozens of soldiers who were burned were screaming and jumping around. Those who were not burned threw down their machine guns and started to run for their lives. The soldiers were soldiers of the Iron Tank Corps. After all, these people were ordinary people. After witnessing the madness of this battle, they completely lost the confidence to continue fighting. Damn it! Come back here. If anyone dares to run, I'll kill him first. Prince William was furious. He rushed up and punched 2 soldiers who were trying to escape. Suddenly, the arms of the soldiers froze, and in the blink of an eye, ice spikes spread out and pierced the hearts of the 2 soldiers. Instantly, they died. The rest of the soldiers who were escaping stopped abruptly. Seeing this bloody scene, they could only raise their machine guns and continue shooting. Ta-ta-ta! Rumble! Rumble! The laboratory was filled with all kinds of sounds. The battle was unusually fierce. Qin Fun and his men were racing against time and did not hold back at all. The soldiers were all ordinary people, so they were quickly burned by the flames of the flaming golden eagle. There were still more than 50 mutants in the room, and they were fighting with Qin Fun and his men. Dracula, there's only 1 minute left. Cover me, I'll destroy the laboratory. Qin Fun's expression became more and more serious. This time, because of the traitor, the plan was seriously delayed. If they could not destroy this laboratory in the last minute, then a level 6 mutant would really appear. Rumble. A loud sound came from behind Qin Fun. Dracula held 2 axes in his hands. His arms, face, and body were covered with blood. Some of it was his, but most of it was the enemy's. Dracula was like a tall and sturdy mountain, blocking in front of Qin Fun. He did not turn his head and said coldly, "Go. I'll help you." Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In an instant, more than 10 black shadows flew over. Originally, there were more than 20 members of the Blood Clan, but only 18 were left. Everyone stood in a row, forming a human wall. Including Dracula, there were a total of 19 members of the Blood Clan in front of Qin Fun. Their faces were pale, but their expressions were firm. They stood motionless, waiting for the enemy to attack. Rumble. Several fireballs flew over. The people of the William family were not stupid. They knew that the weakness of the Blood Clan was their weak defense. They were afraid of light, and fire mutants' attacks were the most harmful to them. The fireballs formed a row, but none of the members of the Blood Clan dodged. Everyone held the weapons in their hands to block the fireballs. Even if they were unlucky enough to be hit by the fireballs, they did not take a step back and stood firmly in place. In a short moment, 3 members of the Blood Clan were burned to death. Qin Fun's eyes were red. Qin Fun did not know these members of the Blood Clan. He had only spoken to Dracula. But the spirit of the nobles of the Blood Clan touched Qin Fun's heart. These people were unknown and were regarded as neither human nor ghost by everyone, but they were secretly protecting everyone. Every one of them was alive, and their lives were precious. They were also a group of monsters, but compared to the evil cultivators of China, the Blood Clan was much more noble. Qin Fun, hurry up. Dracula's right arm was also ignited in flames, but he did not care and let the flames spread. He swung the Sky Splitter axe in his hand, killing a mutant every time. Whoosh! Qin Fun leaped and rushed to the innermost laboratory. Before he left, a ball of ice fell on Dracula's flaming arm, and the flames instantly disappeared. There was a small compartment in the innermost part of the room, and 8 naked bodies were lying in 8 huge containers. It was unknown what those containers were made of, but the front of the containers was transparent glass. These 8 bodies were the 8 level 6 mutants who were about to be born. Qin Fun did not hesitate and swung the Chong Ling sword in his hand. Rumble. The long sword swung down, bringing with it a blue light, and the whole laboratory began to shake violently. The sword chi fell on one of the containers, and the transparent glass on the outer layer began to crack. Finally, the whole piece exploded into pieces. Bang! The first container exploded, and the test subject inside was also blown to pieces. Qin Fun did not stop and swung his sword again. Rumble! Another container exploded, and the loud sound was as if a bomb had gone off. Everyone outside felt the movement in the innermost layer. Dracula looked back, and a gratified smile flashed in his eyes. Not good. The test subject has been destroyed. Kill, kill. Prince William suddenly went crazy. He covered his whole body with a layer of ice armor, ignored the attacks of the blood breeds, and forcibly rushed into the innermost laboratory. The remaining 20 or so mutants also began to go crazy. Everyone released all kinds of abilities without reservation, and the blood breeds gradually fell into a disadvantage. They were small in number, and now there were only 12 people left standing. Rumble, rumble. Loud noises continued in the laboratory, and Qin Fun destroyed 3 test subjects in a few breaths. When he was about to swing his sword again and destroy the 4th test subject, the long sword in his hand suddenly stopped in midair. The sword chi was still condensed on the edge of the sword, and it could not fall down. Whoosh! The icicle pierced through the air and directly hit Qin Fun, who was in a daze, and sent him flying. Qin Fun rolled a long distance before he came to a stop, but his eyes were still empty, and he could not come back to his senses. Qin Fun, how dare you destroy 3 test subjects? I will make you die a horrible death. Prince William shouted angrily. He guarded the other 5 test subjects, and from time to time, he would look at his watch. The blood breeds outside were stunned. Dracula looked at Qin Fun, who was sitting on the ground in a daze, and roared, "Qin Fun, what are you doing? Pull yourself together." Qin Fun could not hear Dracula's voice, and his mind kept replaying the scene he had just seen. Qin Fun could not accept this fact. This feeling was as painful as when Su Ruo Ro suddenly stabbed him in the back during the battle at the Amethyst Dragon Palace. How did this happen? How did this happen? Qin Fun, I can't hold on any longer. If you don't destroy the other 5 test subjects, I will haunt you even if I become a ghost. Dracula roared continuously. The blood breeds had reached their physical limits, and their combat power continued to decline. After a while, another 3 blood breeds fell to the ground forever. More and more ability, users rushed into the innermost laboratory and formed a line at the entrance, blocking the vampires outside. Now, it was the final stage of the experiment, which meant that in a few dozen seconds a rank 6 ability user would be born. You're tuning into the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.